Please don't spoil the movie by adding your own soundtrack. Can you hear yourself now?
Can I hear myself?
Yeah. Hi, I'm Barbie.
We're recording already?
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Ken.
How dare you?
Ha.
Hi, Barbie.
Hi, Barbie.
No, hi, Ken.
Hi, Ken.
And welcome back to Please Don't Spoil the Movie.
You didn't tell me you were going to be singing, so I wasn't prepared to sing.
It's okay. It was a solo dolo type thing. Anyway, this podcast is brought to you by two sisters who love each other.
Upon occasion. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year's, everyone. Happy 2024. What a crazy time it is to be alive.
How was your 2023?
It was straight. Nothing terrible, nothing great.
I would say the same. I was
Yeah.
gonna say, this was just... 2023 felt like a buffer year.
Yeah, a buffer year. For sure.
It's the lead up to the great year of 2024.
I hope
I
so.
like to say.
That's what I'm saying, too. My Mercury moon.
That's what I'm saying, too.
My Scorpio, my Jupiter moon is back in rotation or something like that. I forget which moon they say it is.
Yeah. And sun and moon rising is
Yeah.
back in retrograde and Mercury's third
No, seriously.
sun.
I'm being serious.
Oh, you meant everything that you just said?
I forgot what moon it is. But I'm 30. It usually happens around for everyone. But Saturn. My Saturn moon is going to be in the same place it was when I was born.
Oh.
And they say that's like a good thing. So.
All right.
Here's to 30. I think it happens like every like 20 or 30 years, yeah. When you're 30, when you're like 50, when you're like dead. Just kidding, but for the next...
Something like that.
Something like that.
Sounds like exciting stuff.
Yeah, so I can't wait. I hope. This is what I want for my 2024. I want a new job. I want to work remote.
You already do that.
And I want my... not as much... it's been so long since I've done such a thing. And I want my side businesses to kick into action.
Well, you got to start doing them again.
Thank you. I know.
You stopped.
Well, not that one. I want a new one.
You're finding a new one?
Yeah.
You're not going to just
Do thrifting.
just do the thing that you've already been doing for the past like 10 years with the
it's
inventory
never-
that you already have?
Never went anywhere with it. Wasn't going anywhere.
I mean, where would anybody be if they said, I didn't go anywhere with it? They just stopped.
I'm pivoting. It's called a pivot.
Pivoting
I'm
to
taking what I learned. There's something else. I don't know. I'm going to sell something else.
I see.
I will report back once I figure it out. What do you want for 2024?
Let's see. My New Year's resolutions are to post more pictures.
Okay.
I feel like I don't do enough of that. What else? To take up hot yoga.
It's like done.
Take up hot yoga
Okay.
because I'm always getting injured.
Oh,
So-
yoga should help, yeah.
Hopefully that'll help. And I only like yoga when it's hot because I think regular yoga is just stupid. What was the other one? Start wearing my natural hair more.
Okay.
Hopefully my edges will grow back. My edges got decapitated because I got my braids done by some Africans a while back.
Ooh.
We won't get into that, but what else?
Do you want to make another year of the Saints?
Oh, I want to. That's a given.
Okay.
And what else? There was another one. Oh, look more presentable because Mom says I can't get a boyfriend looking the way I look when I step outside. So I guess that. And there was one more. Oh, eat cleaner because my gallbladder hates me. So
That's right. I don't know about the more presentable one, but the eat cleaner.
well,
Same. I'll add that to my list
I feel
as
like
well.
it's naturally gonna come because if I wear my natural hair more, I'm gonna have to do something because I really don't like my natural hair by itself.
Oh.
And I don't have any like makeup on my face or anything like that. I'm like, oh god, like just natural hair. I don't got no makeup on my face. I'm just like, oh god, just.
I guess.
So yeah,
2024, this is our year.
what was your top movies of 2023? Go.
Okay. And they had to be made in 2023.
Yes.
Bottoms. It's up there. What did I tell you? Barbie. Fun. I didn't see Oppenheimer, but I appreciate it. But I want to add it to the list.
I hope not.
I didn't watch it, but I appreciate its rivalry with Barbie. What else came out in 2023?
You said that.
Oh, Knock at the Cabin. I really like that. It was a what's that guy? Indian guy that makes all the movies and always have a twist.
I don't think he's Indian. David Bautista.
No, not the actor.
Oh.
I know David he's not Indian. I'm talking about M. Night Shyamalan.
Oh.
He's directed.
Oh,
the show.
that's an M. Night Shyamalan
production.
film?
Yeah, I really liked it. But I think that's all I got.
Was it a post-apocalyptic type of movie?
It was a let's stop that before it happened type movie. So yes,
Stop the apocalypse before the apocalypse begins.
Yeah. It was like, we are here at this moment, and we have to make really hard decisions to save the rest of the world type thing. But it was really good. I really liked it.
These select 5 people in a cabin have to do that?
Do you want me to tell you what happens?
The world depends
Low-key.
on them. It has something to do with the little
It was
world.
like 4 or 5 people who like found each other online because they had the same visions, and they were like, they knew they had to go to this cabin.
Okay.
And there was a family there. It was a gay couple with their adopted daughter.
That's the little Asian girl.
Yeah. And it was like they had to choose, the family had to choose one of them to die. The people couldn't choose for them. They had to choose one of them to die to save the world.
What if they got it wrong?
That's what they were wondering. They were like, you guys are delusional. But it was like they were saying everything that was coming true. Like they had like 5 chances. It was like different. Each of the people, like the visitors, they represented each a different part of like the apocalypse.
Okay.
It was like one. It was like if you guys don't kill someone before, like if you guys don't choose someone to die before, and then they die. So it was like one.
Oh.
Yeah. So it was like they. So it was like one girl was like, okay, you guys haven't chosen anyone, so I have to die now. And then like,
thanks.
And then a storm came, a really bad storm. And the next one was like, you guys didn't pick, all the airplanes out of the ground, like flew out the ground. There was floods. It was all, it's like each one did something to get them closer to the apocalypse. And but of course they choose right before, and then it's back to normal, like calm and stuff.
Awful.
It was really good, but yeah, a lot of it was just like, what are you guys are freaking crazy. But it's like they weren't.
Mines are a little bit more lighthearted.
Okay, what we got?
And I watched them all on December 31st, 2023.
You watched all of them?
My selection.
Oh,
yeah.
so you got them just right in. Okay, let's see.
Yeah.
Was it Barbie?
One of them? No. Joyride.
Oh, how was it? What is it on? Tell me.
I think it's on. It might be on HBO Max or it's on something.
It is on
something
HBO
we
Max.
have.
Okay, I'm gonna watch it this weekend.
It was good. It was really cute,
Maybe
really
it's on Hulu.
funny. Had a lot of heart. Had a lot of spunk. I'm trying to remember. Did I cry during that, or did I cry during the other one? Oh, I did cry a little bit during that one. It took us on a journey. I liked it. It was fun. It was cute.
Stephanie, I don't know how to say her last name. Haas? Is that her name? Yeah, anyway, she's the girl from Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Yeah, I knew she was gonna be in the movie, but she played a different character than I thought she was gonna play.
Yeah. Can I add that to my list? Everything Everywhere All at Once. Okay, keep going.
I don't think that's a 2023 movie.
Yeah, damn
I think it's a 2022 movie. Nice try. Tried it.
I did try it. Okay, but good or bad?
I just told you the movie was
her
good.
character.
Oh, I just thought, so the movie's about these 2 girls. They grow up together, BFFs. One's adopted. So she's Asian with white parents, and the other one just has, traditional Asian parents. And then one of them, she goes to China for a work trip. But in the process, she ends up trying to find her birth mom.
Oh, she's not telling them that.
And the girl from Everything All at Once, I thought she was going to play the girl's best friend who has original Chinese parents. Because the one who's adopted, she's like an overachiever, a lawyer, law school. And the other one's like an artist, not doing anything with her life, working at her parents' like Chinese restaurant.
Right.
And I thought she was playing the not doing anything with her life best friend. But when they go to China, they meet up with her college best friend, and that's who the girl from Everything All at Once plays. Okay. She's like an actress. Oh. So, yeah.
That's fantastic.
So, yeah, it was really cute. It was really funny. You should watch it.
Yeah.
At first, I didn't think it was that funny, but towards the end, it got more funny.
Is it giving, like... What's that white movie?
Just think, like, road trip, hangover type
Hangover,
feel.
that's what I was looking for.
Yeah, something like that.
Got it. Okay, yeah, I'm going to check it out. I forgot about that one.
And the other movie that I watched that was good, Theater Camp.
You watched that? It's like the documentary one.
Great film.
I couldn't get into it. I watched the first 30 minutes. I was like,
oh my God, you didn't finish it.
I watched.
I thought it was better than Joyride.
I got like 20, 30 minutes and I was like, I can't.
I thought it was hilarious.
I forgot what
you didn't like it.
I wasn't in the right place.
It was so funny. And then
it didn't get there to me.
When they did the play, oh my God, I was like, this is so good.
I didn't see the play.
I wanted to cry for that. They had like the little kids singing. I was like, this is freaking beautiful. Yeah, I thought it was so good.
Okay, I'll go back and watch it. I think I got to the point where the girl's son that runs the camp and he doesn't know what he's doing gets approached by the person who's trying to buy it. And she's like, we want to buy it. And I was just like, it's not clicking.
It was so funny.
It was not clicking for me. And then I was waiting for, I don't know how you say her name, Ayo.
Or Ayo. I think it's Ayo.
Ayo to come in. And she wasn't showing me enough. Like, I hadn't seen her enough. And I was like, this is who I'm here for. And I was just like,
she wasn't in it that much.
I'll go back and watch it.
Oh my God, I thought it was so good. It was so funny.
I'll go back and watch it. Those are like this to me, that's like the clique. It's like the old Ayo girl. The girl who's
in Bottoms with her?
No. Well, yes, that one. But the other girl in this movie who's who's in charge of the theater.
She's like the director of music.
Yes. Them three.
The girl Ayo, I don't know how to say last name, and the other white girl from Bottoms, they went to college together or something.
So. Love that. Yeah, and they hang out. That other girl that I was talking about in this movie, the white girl from Bottoms, they are in another movie together called like some Shiba Baby. Shiba Baby, I really like that movie.
Shiba Baby.
That is Shiba.
Interesting.
Shabbat. Is it Shiba? Saying Shabbat?
Shabbat.
No, sitting Shiba.
Oh.
Shiba Baby, yeah.
Okay.
Funeral thing. Well, I'm sorry for everyone else who didn't make the list. Try again next year.
Right. Sorry. And you know what won't be on my list?
What?
Saltburn. Yeah. Saltburn won't be on my list.
What'd you think about it?
I mean, I just watched it for Jacob, whatever his last name is.
Yeah.
That was the only reason why I watched it.
You know what? So I like No Hard Feelings other than The Ring, but...
You know, I was surprised that you didn't say that.
I really liked it. Actually, I forgot about that.
I will give it an honorable mention.
I'll throw it in the ring, but
I won't say it's the movie of 2023. I actually could have seen more movies of 2023.
I was about to say that. I feel like there is no movie of 2023. I'm not sure if we did it this year. I haven't seen them all, but
from the ones that we have seen, those are our tops.
Yeah,
you're welcome. The Golden Globes were last night.
Wait, Saltburn first, and then Golden Globes. What'd you think about Saltburn? You hated it?
I mean, like, what? I mean, I only watched it for the hot guy. So I was just like, I don't really... I went in there with no expectations. I was like, I don't care if I like this movie. I'm literally only watching this to see this fine kid on the TV screens. 100%. And then I just, like, did not... I was like, okay... I don't know. I just feel like, who wrote this? And, like, why? I just feel like whenever there's a movie... Well, not all the time. But whenever there's a movie like this... Mm-hmm. They're always weird, and they always have, like, these weird sex scenes or weird sexual things.
Yeah.
Like, why? Why are you humping the grave?
Yeah, that was wild.
Why are you masturbating to a grave site? That was so weird.
I heard that was improv.
You heard it was improv? Now he's weird. Now I question him as a human being. Not I get it, but I'm just now I'm questioning the actor.
Now in my head, I'm just seeing the director like do more. He's like, should I cry? And like, do more. Should I stick my penis in the gun?
Exactly.
Like, yeah, that's it. And it was like, okay.
And then now, look, they're all Golden Globes, Oscar noms. For that?
For that? Golden Globes?
They were nominated for something.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wasn't that good of a movie.
And I was like, I'm not seeing any acting here. I'm just seeing weird behavior.
Yes. I mean, I enjoyed the movie, but I don't think it deserved as much hype that
it doesn't. Really I don't think it should be in the category with these other movies that are getting nominations.
What happened
that I also haven't seen?
What happened at the Gold? Did that a Native American movie, the No Sun to the South? What is it called?
Sons of the I don't know, Flower Moon. Something. Yeah, she won something.
Okay for her.
I don't know if it was Best Supporting Actress in a Drama or Best Actress.
Best Actress. Okay.
Your little TV show Bears, they won some stuff.
Of course, Hunty. I haven't watched season 2
The main guy, he won Best Actor in a comedy musical drama series or something like that.
Beautiful Man.
And then Ayo won that, but for the ladies.
Yeah, I saw that. I did see that.
Good for her. I saw originally she was supposed to be in the best supporting category, but somehow she was like,
She's pretty.
I want to be in the main one.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like if you're not the main character, you shouldn't be in the main category. But she's a black woman, so I'll allow it.
But I'm saying she kind of is kind of the main character.
He's not the main character?
No, he is. But you know, the show is kind of interesting because it almost feels like no one's the main character.
That's interesting.
It's been a while. I need to go back and watch it, but I remember watching it and being like, oh, just like you're just like kind of seeing everyone.
Mm. Interesting.
Yeah. But it also doesn't like focus a lot on his life outside of the kitchen. Like we're just seeing them all in the kitchen. They're all in the kitchen.
Yeah.
It's not really. He doesn't have a girlfriend. He doesn't have like,
him and the girl, are they dating?
I hope they never do, but no. I haven't seen season 2 yet either.
So you're not caught up.
No, because I don't feel like being stressed. It's such a good show, but it's so stressful.
Well, they took home a lot of awards, and I was like, maybe I'll start watching it.
Should.
Now they've received some kind of notoriety.
Yeah. I think after I made it through like the first episode, I was like, okay, I can do this. I just have to get myself there mentally to do that again for season 2.
Succession, a show that I have seen. They took home...
You watched Succession?
I haven't finished it, but yeah, I started watching it.
No, doesn't do it for me.
Yeah. I was just like, I'm not married to this.
Yeah.
I'm just like... I mean, if I had a boyfriend who was into it, like I'd probably like watch it with him. Like, on my own, I'm just like,
Yeah, so.
And a lot of times they're using, oh my God, I used to have to rewind it so much. I'm like, what the are y'all talking about?
Right.
They would use big, rich people in New York stock broker exchange words.
Right.
I'm like, I don't know what y'all are talking about. And they would talk so fast. And they would use such lingo. And I was like, what are y'all saying? It used to piss me off. And they're all from New York, so they all talked fast. I'm like, this is pissing me off. Y'all are making me mad. But yeah. Macaulay Culkin's little brother, Brenda Song's brother-in-law, he won Best Actor in the series or whatever. And
He's doing good.
You know, somebody else won Best Supporting, chick won Best Actress, and I think they won Best Drama Series.
Okay.
So yeah, good for them.
Amen.
That's all I got. I don't know who else won anything.
Celebrities.
Oh! Well, I guess we'll tackle that once we talk about our movie.
Okay.
Where's my alcoholic beverage?
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen it in ages.
Donde está? There's something else I want to talk about. Oh, one more movie. I'll start talking while you find your alcoholic beverage. So I watched where is it? Oh, I watched the new Hunger Games movie, the singing bird one or whatever.
Battle of the Songbird.
Yes. And I enjoyed it. Kind of on the long side, kind of on the poor side. Not the movie, not the budget, but just like from like singing like, you know, Hunger Games in the quote unquote present tense and then seeing where it came from. I'm like, oh, y'all was raggedy.
Well, wasn't it only like the 5th or the 10th one?
It was the 10th one.
And you know, see, I always thought this was the movie about how it got started. So I thought it was supposed to be the first one.
Yeah.
So when I heard it was the 10th one, I was like, that pisses me off because I'm only watching this to see how it got started.
It's kind of, you're watching how it, not how it got started, but how it became, like how it became so
big
yeah,
and propaganda and marketing and stuff.
Yeah, because I feel like if it wasn't for Snow's ideas, because he's kind of like gave the whole like we need to fall in love with the tributes and we need to send money and all that, like sending in gifts and stuff like that. It wasn't for him. I think it would have died off because people weren't watching. That was a big thing in the movie. They were like people weren't watching. People getting murdered. Yeah, and then like
who would want to tune into that? They
literally grab them from their districts, put them in a zoo, like a cage, an outdoor cage, like they're monkeys, until it was time to be in the Hunger Games. They didn't feed them, they didn't clean them. One of them had an infection just severely got worse over time. By the time he got into the Hunger Games, dude was almost freaking brain dead.
Oh,
they didn't even try to clean these people up. They didn't even try. Because they're not in the modern Hunger Games. They shave them,
right? They clean them up. They give them makeup, stylists, designers,
and then luckily the only good and the you know how lavish the
Capitol.
No, not the Capitol. The dome is where they fight. If I recall it.
The arena.
Yeah, the arena is so lavish, but this arena was literally an arena, and the only thing that got slightly cute about it is because it got bombed right before they were supposed to have the the tournament. So it created like little holes that they could go into, and that made it a little extra, but raggedy.
Yeah, from the commercials, I was like, they just look like they're in a room with dirt.
See, I thought what was going to happen, I thought that they were going to like, okay, let's level it up. Let's level it up this season. That's not what happened.
Oh, no. I thought it was supposed to be like that. Again, I thought it was supposed to look like that because this was the first one. So obviously they don't have much to go off of.
Well, I just like, at the length, I was like, okay. Because I thought I was watching majority Hunger Games. That's not what I was getting.
I'll have to watch it one day.
Yeah. That's straight.
I wanted to watch it. One day.
Yeah. They didn't do They didn't really drive home. I wonder if he's worse in the books. President Snow or Mr. Snow, or whatever the hell you call him.
They didn't make him that villainous.
Yeah, it was there. I was watching with Chance, and he was trying to be like, he's not that bad. I'm like, but you know what he becomes.
Right.
You cannot trust him. He's not good either. But yes. And before we get started, just want to say, don't forget to rate, review, subscribe, download, tell your friends, follow us at Please Don't Spoil the Movie on Instagram. Please Don't Spoil on TikTok. Please Don't Spoil the Movie anywhere else, just about. And go follow us. Hit us up.
Period.
Yes. RJ, you gonna tell us about the movie we're doing today?
Hollywood. And all the awful things about it.
I almost forgot what movie we're doing for a second. I was like...
Think A-list producer. Think little kid who tells a lot of lies and false stories. Think summer school. Think unaccompanied minors. Think I have my sidekick best friend tag along with me on this adventure and journey. Think capitalism, greed, untrustworthiness, anything I can do to claw my way to the top. Think misogynistic and racist man. Think a little kid who just wants to prove a point. Think a young and Amanda Bynes.
Yeah.
Think clown.
Yeah.
Think
mischief.
Blue. Think mischief. Think mayhem. Think plotting and scheming to prove a point and get to the truth of justice.
Hallelujah.
And that brings us to drum roll, please. Big Fat Liar. I'm so excited to do this movie.
Huh?
When I was watching it, I was like, this movie is fucking hilarious.
When I watched it, I was like, oh my God. Like, it unlocked something in the back of my brain that I used to remember. Like, when he does the Keith scene, like... I was like, oh my God.
Watching this, I was like, oh my God, this movie is so good even as an adult.
Right. Why has it been so long since I've watched it? This needs to be
you can't watch it on anything without paying for it.
It needs to be on my daily repertoire. So everyone release it. Thank y'all.
Even, I feel like a lot of the movies that we've done in the past, like I watch it and I'm like, ugh, this was so much more thrilling and enjoyable as a child. Watching this, I was like, this is still good as an adult.
Yeah, it's amazing.
You want to know why?
What?
You want to know why?
Why?
It's all because of one man. Paul Giamatti.
Oh.
I was going to say Frankie Muniz. No, get out of here.
Yes, Frankie.
No, this movie is fantastic and great and hilarious because of Paul Giamatti. I was like, oh my God, why is he so good? I was like, he's fabulous. And, first of all, I love Paul Giamatti.
Do you?
Know that? Do you know that?
Yeah, Jay, I know you're obsessed with him.
Oh, you knew that?
Yeah.
Oh. You said, do you? And I was like, I feel like you shouldn't know.
Yeah, I was being joking because you were like, you know what, this movie's so amazing.
I love me some Paul Giamatti. And that brings me into segue. Last night at the Golden Globes, he won a Golden Globe. I think this is his third.
For what?
For what movie? Give me a second. I'll tell you because I haven't seen it yet. I still love him though.
Is it Oppenheimer or no?
No, it's not Oppenheimer. It's some movie I've really never heard of. The Holdovers. He won Best Actor in a Musical or Comedy. Shout out to Paul.
The Holdovers. Okay, never.
And I need to watch his show. He has a show Billions. I need to watch that.
Yeah, big brand. She's doing a lot of stuff.
Oh yeah, that chick. She was. I don't know if she won,
Joy
but she was nominated or something.
Yeah. She's a lot of movies. Go ahead, girl.
But yeah, fantastic show. Oh my god, this show has 7 seasons. Oh my god.
That's your friend.
I really want to watch it, but I feel like it's literally like another Succession. And
is it about him or is it like?
I forgot what it's about. I want to say he's like a lawyer.
Oh.
And something. Nonetheless, we're moving forward. Excellent acting we see from Paul Giamatti.
And oh my God, Frankie Muniz, my first celebrity crush.
I mean, yeah, he does pretty good.
One of my first.
They all across the board. Great acting. So but the stealer of the show would be Paul Giamatti. Summary. Alluding to the fable, The Boy Who Cried Wolf, the movie follows a 14-year-old compulsive liar, Jason Shepard, played by Frankie Muniz, whose creative writing assignment entitled Big Fat Liar is stolen by an arrogant Hollywood producer, Paul Giamatti, who later plans to use the paper in hopes to turn it into a blockbuster film.
What an ass.
Fun facts. The movie is an American teen comedy film directed by Sean Levy and written by, do you want to guess? Don't look.
I'm looking at my screen.
Oh, where are your notes?
Right here.
Oh. Written by...
I already looked, though. Dan Harmon.
Who the hell is Dan Harmon?
Is it not Dan Harmon?
Who's Dan Harmon?
That little rapist fat guy from...
Dan Schneider.
Who's Dan Harmon?
I don't know.
Dan Harmon is a person.
I don't know who that is.
Dan Schneider.
You're soiling his name.
Sorry. But Dan...
Schneider
is a fat guy.
And when I read it, I was like, oh, who wrote this? And I was like, that makes sense.
Yeah.
He's crazy, but he makes some good children.
Crazy,
man. He's good.
He's terrifying.
he's good though. He's good.
That's the one who does all like the.
He does all that.
Nickelodeon.
Yeah. Oh. Written by Dan Schneider from a story by Dan Schneider and Brian Robbins. You know who Brian Robbins is?
I don't know.
He is. It all makes sense now. I was like, oh.
Just now, it just made sense.
It all makes sense. I was like, when I was reading this, I was like, okay, who's Brian Robbins? He's the CEO of Paramount Plus. Which shows are all on freaking Paramount Plus?
Oh.
Every Nickelodeon show that's ever existed. I'm like, oh, it all makes sense. They're in cahoots, these two. They're in cahoots. I'm like, oh.
Sickos.
Oh, and he used to be and he's the CEO of Nickelodeon. Right. I forgot that.
Well.
So, yeah.
He's
the CEO of Nickelodeon and Paramount Plus. I'm like, how can you do that?
Because CEOs don't do anything. He can't, but hopefully he's still not the CEO of both, because that'd be crazy. What's his name?
That's why all of the Nickelodeon shows are on Paramount Plus. What's his name? Brian Robbins. Brian! So him and Dan Schneider crafted this little... So the movie and film was directed by Sean Levy. Do you want to know who Sean Levy is?
Levy, yeah.
He, is like the creator, I don't know, of Stranger Things or something.
Okay.
He looks familiar. If you Google him, you'd recognize his face. He has a cameo in the movie. I don't like what you're doing with your mouth right now. You look like the Grinch. It's unattractive.
He's in the movie. When is he in this movie?
So the scene where
he's yelling at the party. No?
He is in the party yelling, yeah. You remember him?
Yeah, what's he saying?
He was talking about how bad the movie that they had
he's got like some bright suit on.
Yeah. He has like bright orange on.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was him.
Okay, I remember him. Mm-hmm. But yes, I don't remember him from other things, so.
His face looks familiar, though.
I feel like his face looks like someone else's face.
What else? The film was released in February 8th, 2002. Kenan Thompson, Dustin Diamond, and the film's director, Sean Levy, appear as guests at the after party of the premiere of one of the movies. And then Jaleel White also appears as himself in an uncredited role. That is literally about all I really have.
Okay.
What else could I mention? Sean Levy, the director, and Paul Giamatti, they went to school together. That's how Paul Giamatti got this role.
Okay.
I think they were saying, like, this was, like, the director's, like, first big, like, movie. And he was like, it's just funny to look back, because, like, this movie, I thought it was, like, I had such a big budget. I thought it was such a big movie. And, like, I was like, I got this out of luck. And he's like, the movies I do now, the budget I could spend in, like, an hour. I'm like, okay, sir, relax.
Calm down.
He's apparently directed all of the Night at the Museum movies.
Okay, sir. Calm
down.
But,
so, yeah. He was like, they were like trying to find somebody a little bit bigger because I guess Paul Giamatti, he had like a few things under his robe, but he wasn't that, Right. He isn't the Paul Giamatti he is today.
Right.
And he was just like, hey, I think he'd be good for it. So.
Yeah, you all gotta start somewhere.
Yeah.
Don't shit on your...
And the greatest villain was born.
Right.
Because of it.
He's good at it.
Oh my god, I was like, why?
Do you prefer him as a villain?
Refer to him as a villain. What else would you refer to him as? I also read somewhere that Lindsay Lohan was considered for this role, but I don't know how accurate that was. It didn't feel like an accurate source when I read it. To play, Amanda Bynes' role.
Yeah.
Let's go through the cast, shall we?
Tell me, guess the budget.
Oh, of course. Budget. Guess it.
He said it wasn't a big budget, but it was big for us. So 20 mil.
Not bad, but not quite. I'll give you one more guess.
18 mil.
15.
Okay.
Box office.
$30 million.
Not quite there.
40.
Not quite.
Should I go higher? Bit 50?
$53 million.
Okay, baby, that's a profit.
Yeah. Not bad, Paul. Frankie Muniz as Jason Shepard, a 14-year-old compulsive liar and slacker.
Boo.
Paul Giamatti as Marty Wolf, a Hollywood producer and founder of the fictional Marty Wolf Pictures Film Studio, which is associated with Universal Pictures.
Ah, yes.
Amanda Bynes as Kaylee. I guess. I feel like they never say her name in this movie.
Yeah, they don't.
Kaylee, Jason's best friend, whom he often talks into helping out with his lies and schemes. Amanda, is this person? Okay. Amanda Detmore as Monty Cartham, Marty's long-suffering assistant.
Yes.
Donald Faison, I don't know this man's name, but the dude, the black guy who's in all those 90s movies. He's in Clueless and stuff.
Yeah.
And Scrubs. Donald Faison, who cares? As Frank Jackson, Marty's former limo driver and a struggling actor who helps Jason and Kaylee in their mission to get blah, 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 blah. Sandra Oh as Phyllis Codwell, Jason and Keely's 8th grade English teacher.
She gonna play a teacher, honey. She gonna play a teacher.
Does she play a teacher often?
Princess Diaries.
Oh, and Princess Diaries.
Principal.
Oh, yeah, you're right. John Chow as Dusty Wong, the director of Big Fat Liar. Russell Hornsby as Marcus Duncan, who was promoted from vice president to president of Universal Pictures.
Hell yeah, black people in tech.
And that's all. That's all we need.
Let's go ahead and dive in.
Ooh, I'm about to dive in.
Oh. So, the movie begins with Jason. I feel like we're starting so early. I'm sorry. The movie begins with Jason Shepard waking up right before his alarm goes off, or his dad. He's late. But I say before he even steps out the door, he tells 3 whole lies in a matter of like 30 minutes.
The most important one, his dad asks him, hey, did you write that paper that's due today? And he's like, yeah, I wrote it.
Yeah.
He did not write it. And then his mom asked, did you eat your oatmeal? He didn't eat his oatmeal. I don't remember the third one, but...
No, his dad was like, "Are you up yet?" He's like, "Yeah, I've been up. I'm ready to go to school."
Oh.
He just woken up.
He just woke up.
He's a big liar. So he's running late to school. He's on his way, and he gets stopped by.
He's on his skateboard.
Skating, and he gets stopped by 3 bullies. One of them being named Brett,
played by Taron Killam.
Okay.
He used to be on SNL, and he's
Oh.
the heartthrob in Stuck in the Suburbs.
He doesn't do it for me.
He does it for anybody. I don't know why he got that role. Like he was supposed to be hot or something.
Yeah.
I never understood that.
I should do that movie one day. But I feel like we mention it a lot.
Yeah.
But so they're bullies, so they steal his skateboard. They make fun of him for, I don't know, being tinier than everyone else. And he's late to school. So he arrives to school. He's standing outside the window of his classroom because
they close the doors on him.
He's not allowed to get inside.
Which is crazy.
This is terrifying.
You're tardy for school and that's it.
You miss school. What if a guy in a white van drives by? Now whose fault is that?
I don't wait. Now you lost me.
Can't go to the school. I said, what if a guy in a white van drives by picking up the kids who didn't make it inside for school? Let him inside.
Oh, I guess.
They locked him out. You can't just give kids not a safe haven to live, to be for 8 hours. He's just like, sorry, you missed 10 minutes, now you got to miss the whole day.
So now he's trying to sneak into the classroom or sneak into school.
Yeah.
So he goes to the window outside of his English class, and the window's open, and he is messaging. I don't even know what kind of device this is. Some sort of 2002 item. It's like a walkie-talkie or something. But he's messaging his friend Kaylee, played by Amanda Bynes, to create a distraction so that he can make his way into the classroom. And she's like, no. And he's like, yes. And she's like, no. And he's like, do it. And she does it.
I don't even know why she even tries.
I don't even know why she like.
She always does that.
She's like, okay, fine.
She's always like, no, fine.
So she asks Sandra Oh, who's their teacher, to open up the door because it's hot. It's stuffy.
I can't breathe.
She can't breathe. She's feeling faint. And she's like, okay, yeah, sure, fine. And that is when Jason sees the opportunity to hop through the window. Of course, he's caught. Sandra Oh is like, did you just come through the window? And he's like, no, I didn't. I've been here the whole time.
Freaking liar.
And she's like, you're lying. Do you have your paper, your English assignment, your report?
Come read up.
That's 1/3 of your grade.
Yes, come read it in front of class.
And he's like, I'd love to tell you that I have this paper, but I don't.
Why not?
Why don't you have it? Of course, he comes up with this elaborate lie as to why he doesn't have it. He says he was too busy spending the night in the emergency room because his father swallowed a meatball.
Hey,
sound story. And she's like, what do you think? I was born yesterday.
You idiot.
And he's like, I'm telling you the truth. And she's like, you're literally not. And she's like, if you don't believe me, call my dad up yourself. This is his number, 816-375-4841. And she's like, okay,
BRB.
I think I'll do that. Be right back. So then, of course, the wheels are already turning for Jason. He's like, I'm ahead of the game. So he gives her, I guess, his cell phone number. She calls his cell phone. And he turns to Kaylee. The phone's ringing. He's like, pretend to be my dad's receptionist and answer the phone. And she's like, no. And he's like, yes. She's like, no. He's like, yes. She's like, no. He's like, yes. And she's like, Dr. Shepard's office. Hi, can I help you? How can I take your call today? So she does it.
She plays a secretary a lot in this movie.
She does.
She does impersonate one.
And she does it very well. So now Jason has the phone and he is pretending to be his father. He's going on this long spiel, this long rant about how everything Jason said was true and that he did swallow a meatball, and the only thing that kept him alive was seeing the look on his son's face saying, yes. Dad, don't die on me. Or something like that.
Don't die, Dad. And don't let that meatball get the best of you.
And he upchugged that meatball the best way he could, and he did it for his boy. And he's like, but Sandra Oh, I gotta go. The meatball. It still has remnants in my throat, and it's killing me. So, my voice is really faint. I can't talk. And so he hangs up. By the way, the whole class is like, this dude is something else.
Yeah.
They're like, what a
I appreciate that the whole class is not a bunch of rats. There's not one single hater in there. That's not, it's going to be like,
right.
Come on, Teach.
Like, he was just on the phone pretending to be his dad. Sandra Oh, he's lying.
There has to be one rat in there.
Right. And no one's a snitch.
Right. That's crazy. But yes, it's Sandra Oh comes back in the classroom and she apologizes, sorry about everything. Take your time with the paper. You're good, honey. So later after school, Jason and Kelly are about to be on their way back home. But before he can leave, he gets stopped by his teacher. And he's like, what's up, Teach? I got to go take care of my father. The whole meatball incident.
Remember, he swallowed a meatball.
Yeah, it's really, affecting our lives right now. And she's like, oh, really? And then she opens the door and reveals that Jason's parents are in there waiting for him. And Jason's dad does not look like he was affected by any meatball choking.
And he's busted. He's been caught. So now he's in there. He's meeting with the teachers. He's meeting with his parents. He obviously jigs up. They find out that he didn't write his paper. Sandra Oh reveals that paper is 1/3 of his grade. Without it, he will have to go to summer school. Jason's like, absolutely not. Summer school? Me? Be for real. I'm not a kid meant for that. Look at me.
I wouldn't want to do it either.
I mean, absolutely not. Who wants to do something?
I would have done my paper.
And they're begging, they're pleading. The parents are like, is there anything he can do? And Sandra Oh says, look, I teach class at the community college. I'll be there till 6 o'clock. If you can get it to me before then, I might consider accepting it. And she looks at him and she says, but Jason, you better not even think about getting anything off the internet. I want that paper handwritten.
Their parents are really nice, because had my son had all these lies, I'm like, oh no, you're definitely going to summer school. Like,
right.
You can keep that, Sandra.
I mean, he's only in the 8th grade anyway. It's not like this is like high school.
But still,
I mean,
there's a
problem.
problem.
It's like, yeah, that's why I'd be like, yeah, you can go to summer school.
Yeah.
This isn't affecting your chances of going to college.
Yeah, and we need to nip this in the bud.
But now, yeah.
Because whatever this is scary.
Literally. I don't want you at the home, me having to be stuck watching you anyway. With your lying ass. You're going to summer school.
Right.
You need some structure.
I'll show you about lying now.
So, she's like, if he gets it to me before 6, I'll consider taking it. And then Jason's like, write, I don't know, 1,000 words, 2,000, something like that. Paper in 3 hours. And the dad's like, that shouldn't be a problem for you. All the lying you be doing. Damn. He's like, this should be real easy.
Easy peasy.
And he's like, dang, Pops.
Wow.
Okay.
Don't come for me.
So, what does Jason do? He gets to work on his little paper. At first, he's having writer's block. He's at home. He's sitting at his desk. He's like, I don't got nothing. The paper says untitled. And then out of nowhere, he just gets the concept and he writes the story. Big, fat liar.
Huzzah. So yes, Jason finishes his assignment with 15 minutes to spare. So it's 5:45. He has to get to the community college to deliver this essay to Sandra Oh so he can not go to summer school. So he takes off. But he doesn't have a skateboard anymore because the bullies took it. But luckily, his older sister's bike, pink with the little
tricycle with like the baskets and the little pom-pom strings on it and everything.
That's still available. So he takes off in that, and he is hightailing it to that community college. But unfortunately for him, right before he can make it any further, he gets hit by a limousine.
And the limousine driver hits the kid. The passenger in the limousine happens to be the one, the only Marty Wolf, played by Paul Giamatti. And Paul is like, what's going on here? The limo driver's like, I think we just hit a kid. And he's like, I don't care, keep going. Right. He's like, we gotta go.
Yeah.
And then the driver's like, can't do that. So the driver gets out, talks to Jason. He's like, hey kid, are you alright? And he's like, yeah, I'm fine, but I need y'all to do me a favor. You gotta bring me to this community college down the road. And then Paul Giamatti rolls down the window. He's like, what's going on here? And he's like, I need y'all to give me a ride. And he's like, Paul Giamatti's like, am I a taxi service? And he's like, Jason's like, you're lucky I don't sue you. And he's like, you know what? I think I'm getting whiplash.
Good for him.
Real recognize real. And Marty is like, all right, you little shit. Get in the car.
Get in.
So he gets in. Upon entry, he has his book bag. He spills all of his stuff in the limo. As soon as he hops in. And he's like, you won't believe the day I'm having. And Marty Wolf, played by Paul Giamatti, couldn't give two shits. And he's like, oh yeah, I'm sure it's really hard in your 10-year-old world. And then Jason's like, I'm 14. And he's like, yeah, I don't care. And then so they introduce themselves. Marty introduces himself as Marty Wolf, big hotshot Hollywood producer. And Jason's like, okay. And then Marty kind of looks at him like, so you don't know who I am? And he's like, no, not really. And then Jason kind of realized, oh, I do know who you are. You've been having some really shit movies lately.
Yeah, you make all those crappy movies.
Those crappy movies. And he's like, okay, kid. All it takes is one hit, and I'm back on top, and my career is back on. Okay? And so he's in town, and he's filming a movie currently.
Yes.
So that's why he's there.
But we also get the idea that Marty Wolf is also a compulsive liar.
Real recognize real.
Yeah.
Real is recognizing real.
There's even one point when they get in the car, they both like cross their legs at the same time. So I guess you're trying to... Maybe like this is like... Had Jason...
This is the trajectory.
Yes.
This is the kind of human being that Jason will become if he still goes on this path.
Just a liar.
Be, evil liar like Marty Wolf.
A big fat liar.
So... Jason's really just telling him, everything that's going on. Mm-hmm. And,
they make it to the school.
And he's telling him he has to, turn in this paper. And Marty leaves him with some parting advice, and he's like, keep the lies up, kid. Because the truth, it's overrated.
Oh.
And he's like, and get out, Jimmy. And he's like, my name's Jason. He's like, whatever.
At one point, he calls him Ezric or something.
Yeah,
I was like, what?
He calls him like Epstein. He's like, whatever, Ebert.
He's like, yeah, Ebert. I'm like,
yeah, get out of here, Ebert. And he's
Where'd you
like,
find that name
okay.
from? Not even close. I was like,
So throughout this whole, it's just him like reading people to film and getting people's names wrong, and it's so funny.
He is funny.
So Jason gets out of the car because they make it to the community college, but remember, all of his stuff fell out of his backpack as soon as he got in the limo. So he darts off, and what does he leave?
The one thing he needs, honey.
The big fat liar paper.
One thing he needed.
And after Jason exits the limo, Marty realizes that he left it. He tries to stop him very briefly. He's like, hey, kid, you left your paper. And then that's about all he does. He looks down at the paper, and he gets a very evil, genius, evil idea. Yeah. What do they say in the Grinch?
Evil. Something. Yes. An evil, mysterious.
So, his eyebrow raises. First of all, his eyebrow goes all the way up to, like, his hairline. And he gets, like, the darkest, evilest idea.
Grin.
And so he goes on about his business.
Yes, we know that he steals the paper, but Jason doesn't know that. So next scene, we see Jason with his parents and Sandra Oh, whose name in the movie I can't think of.
It doesn't matter. We'll just
yes,
call her. We'll call her by her real name. We put some respect on her real name.
So he's in trouble. He's trying to explain that he actually did write the paper, but he must have left it in the limousine of the guy who hit him with his car. It's actually a really crazy story for someone who's actually a compulsive liar. So of course they don't believe him. They're like,
it's Boy Who Cried Wolf. Of course.
Yes.
They're not buying it. They're like, that's enough out of you. And then the mom turns to Sandra Oh. She's like, what are our options? And Sandra Oh says, summer school. Like I told y'all before.
She says summer school or summer school.
So what does Jason do? He's now in summer school. We see Jason in summer school. It looks miserable. It looks like he's in prison.
It's disgusting.
The bully who stole his skateboard is also in there. There's a guy there who's hoarding a weasel, and he has like a red afro.
I've never done summer school, but I feel like you should only be going to summer school for the thing you failed, right?
Yeah.
I feel like that guy was teaching science. Am I tripping?
He was talking about English.
Oh, he was?
He was talking about he was like, today let's talk about the semicolon.
Oh, okay. I wasn't paying attention.
A lesson on semicolons.
Sir.
The history of the semicolon.
What grade are we in? I don't know.
He's in 8th grade.
Okay. Do we need that?
I don't know. It's summer school. So, literally the most boring thing possible. So, after his day in summer school, he meets up with Kaylee, whatever her name is, Amanda Bynes, and they go to the movies. They're talking about how boring their summers are going to be because he's stuck in summer school, and then Kaylee reveals that her parents are on this great big adventure in the Grand Canyon, whitewater rafting, blah, 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 while she has to spend her summer with her nanny, her nana, who's like old and senile.
Yeah. And Jason's like, you can come over. My parents are out of town at the spa this weekend
for their anniversary, and they are gone
so
Thursday till Sunday, and it's just him and his sister.
So come on down. So they sit down, they're complaining, and they're getting ready for the...
They're complaining, they're whining about their
Yes.
their very privileged adolescent lives.
Yes. So they're sitting down, they have the popcorn. The movie has not started yet, so we got the trailers. So the first trailer that comes on is a story that sounds all too familiar to the young Jason.
In a time when a little lie can grow bigger and bigger, one man will pay the price. Next summer, people everywhere will stop and stare. Marty Wolf Pictures presents Kenny Trooper, the Big Fat Liar.
And Kelly turns to Jason. She's like, what do you think? You want to see it? And Jason's like, see it? I think I wrote it. First of all, let's be for real. That trailer gave literally nothing. They gave
it's like a giant man.
It's literally just like, okay, you hear thumps. It sounds like there's a giant walking around. Mm-hmm. And it literally says this summer, Big Fat Liar.
Yeah.
I mean, well, I guess, it said Marty Wolf.
Yeah.
So I guess you're.
I think they mentioned something about telling lies or something.
Yeah. So that's fair for him to think. But as soon as the trailer started, he's like, "Did I write this?" He's looking like, "Oh, this is my movie." I was like, "You."
Just having an audio.
We haven't revealed anything in this trailer. This trailer gives us nothing about the plot. But anywho,
I wonder.
He realized he's been gypped.
But in Hollywood, you just it's not this quick. But that was a fast turnaround for a trailer.
Also, I would like to point out that they have a trailer set for this movie. Mm-hmm. The movie, we see that throughout the movie that they haven't even started filming.
Yes.
The script isn't completed. Why is there a trailer already?
Right. It doesn't make any sense. I was like,
y'all haven't started filming it yet.
I was like, this is not how movies work,
but okay. This is how Hollywood works,
yes,
people.
Not at all. You don't make
trailers when y'all don't have any content yet.
Exactly.
Like, what?
Are you trying to get, what? Momentum going? Or like...
The script isn't even done.
It's not even done. He hasn't started filming. Hilarious. How'd y'all even shoot that crap? Yeah, it's silly.
But and then what's even crazier, with that very minuscule trailer with zero context and no film to back it up and not even starting filming. It's all on the news how it's like the next big
movie.
Hollywood
it's confusing.
Summer, a blockbuster.
It's confusing.
It's like all on E! News. They're talking about how it's going to be the next big thing. I'm like, there's nothing.
There's no movie
there. There's not a main character.
Yeah.
There's not a side character. There's no supporting characters. Do we even have the director yet?
Yeah.
There's nothing. They're already talking
about
They do
have the director, but yes.
And then so Jason's home. They're talking about it on E! News. How it's going to be the next big thing. Freaking Marty Wolf, he's on, I don't know, late night with Jay Leno, who freaking knows. And he's talking about the movie and how it's going to be so good and how he came up with it. And he's like, the good ideas, sometimes they just come to you. He's sitting there lying.
Yes.
And Jason is trying to prove to his parents, he's like, this is the guy. This is the story that I wrote. He stole my stuff. And his parents, they're packing for their vacation. They're like, enough out of you.
I'm sure they're so concerned. Like, these lies, because, I mean, I get why they don't believe them. But I'm like, these lies are getting bigger and bigger.
I'd be concerned, yeah.
I would be concerned. I was like, we're going to have to deal with this after the spa weekend. But
right.
I'm very concerned.
We're concerned for you, Jason.
Yeah, why are you lying?
So, Jason, ultimately, all he wants is just for his dad to believe him.
Yeah, because his dad is like over him.
Do you believe me, Dad? And his dad turns to him and he's like, I just can't.
Oof.
And that one hurt him.
I know. That really does hurt him.
That really hurt him.
Not the God honest truth.
This now sets the rest of the events that happened in this film all because his dad said, I just can't believe you.
You can't. It's nothing worse when your parents are reasonably truthful.
Like, when they tell you like it is.
Yeah.
Like,
they're not yelling. He's not yelling about it. He's like, I just can't.
Like, bro, I just can't. Yeah. You're just full of shit.
You know what I think is so weird about this movie? The mom really doesn't talk.
I thought about that as well. She doesn't say, I think her only line is, what are our options? When she's talking to Sage. Yeah. So I think that's the only thing she ever says.
Why do they hate the mom so much?
Yeah.
Why didn't you just kill her for all this?
I'm surprised it wasn't the mom. I really thought it should have been the mom.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't believe you.
I don't know, like a dad, a male figure. I don't know what the theme here is.
I think it should have been the mom.
Yeah.
Or both of them.
Change the plot.
Anywho.
So the next morning, Jason's parents are off and he is left with his older sister, Janie. So as soon as her parents pull off, boom, her boyfriend pulls up, skirt.
Her white rapper boyfriend.
Yes.
Okay, you remember how I told you I was going to start keeping a list of movies that have like a dead parent?
Yeah.
Now I'm keeping a track of movies that have the white wannabe gangster rapper troupe.
Yeah.
So I've got him.
Yeah.
And I've got Kevin from Can't Hardly Wait. So
someone else,
her white rapper boyfriend with braids in his head and he's like, yo, 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 yo. He pulls up.
She doesn't even seem like she would be into that. She seems cool for him. She's gonna grow out him quickly. Because
we know Jamie. We get her.
Yeah.
This isn't the guy for her.
It's not the guy for her.
She'll get tired of him.
Rudy is his name. And she's like, okay, I'm gonna go spend the weekend with Rudy. Have fun. Boy, I know she got in so much trouble when the parents got back. I know they ate her ass.
They probably did. I didn't even think about that she like left him, and so he really
left him.
I didn't think about that.
To the point where he went to L.A.,
Los Angeles.
Girl, you grounded. Cause like, where were you? Ooh,
she's lucky this panned out good for him.
Yes.
If it hadn't, she would have been in trouble.
She'd be dead.
Yeah.
She should be scared for her life.
Yeah.
Everyone grounded.
She's so moving on. Jason pulls up to Kaylee.
Hey girl.
House. She's tutoring the bully, Brent, whatever his name is, on Catcher in the Rye, whatever. And he
Wait,
brings
hold on.
her upstairs.
I feel like you have to. He just randomly said "Catch her in the Rye." That's what they're reading.
Right. I said she's tutoring him on Catch Her in the Rye.
Oh, it was a pause, and it just sounded like you said a "Catch her in the Rye." Just like, wait, what?
You've got to clarify.
That's what they're.
So
That's the assignment.
Jason brings her upstairs, and he starts packing clothes for her, and tells
go.
her that they are going in 2 hours. They will be on a flight to Los Angeles to confront Marty Wolf so that he can call up his father personally and tell him that Jason did in fact write Big Fat Liar.
The balls on this guy.
I'm like, what? And Kelly's like, what are you doing? What are you talking about? We're 14. How are we going to get there? Where are we going to sleep? We don't have any money. And he's like, I have money saved up from, grass cutting and all this stuff.
Or
She's
papers,
like,
I'm sure.
She's like, let's go. And she's like, we cannot do that. She's like, you are only 14. I'm only 14. I have to stay here with my Nana, who thinks I'm spending the entire summer with her. She may be old and senile, but she is not that old and senile.
Right.
She's like, you're not thinking clearly and you're not thinking things through.
You're not using that big old brain of yours.
But of course, I don't know if she's like in love with him or whatever, but of course she eventually...
She can't... She actually has... when she was at birth, she was... her godmother came and was like, you have to agree to things on the third time they ask.
You're gonna get tired.
Yes.
Like by the third question, you will say
similar
yes.
to Ella Enchanted with a little more leeway. So,
Something of that nature. But her whole thing is that she expressed to Jason that she wanted an adventure this summer.
Can't blame
he's
her.
like, hey,
I got it for you.
He's like, don't you want an adventure?
Sealed, delivered.
And that's all she needed to hear, and she agrees.
Fine.
So the next thing on the agenda is they have to take care of Kaylee's Nana.
Yeah.
They're like, okay, how are we gonna play this off? So Bert, whatever his name is, the bully, he comes in. He is going to pose as Kaylee for the summer in exchange of Jason and Kaylee doing his summer school homework.
Mm-hmm.
So she is gonna go off to Los Angeles. Meanwhile, the bully is gonna pretend to be her. He's in her clothes and everything. Knocks on the door. He's like, hey, grandma, it's me, Kaylee. She's like, you're so big. And he's like, yeah, I'm benching like 130 these days.
Not only her grandmother is literally 4.5 feet.
She's got to be legally considered a little person.
So
she's like 4 feet tall.
The fact that he's standing over her, I'm like, girl, you have to know that's not Kaylee.
You've got to know. She's holding senile. She can't see.
So
she's like, she questions it. Grandma questions it a little bit, and she's like, I've got a gun. And then she's like, ultimately like, okay, Kaylee, you just got big. I get it. And so the plan is set.
We're done. We've crossed our T's and we've dotted our I's, man. Let's do this. And
now they're off to the airport to go to Los Angeles.
And a plane.
You know?
Unaccompanied minded. What age?
That's what I was gonna say that. I was like, I want to say it's 14. I don't know if you have to be at 14. That's when you can start flying at it. It's gotta be, I guess, because they keep on emphasizing that he's 14.
Yeah,
I feel like,
hopefully.
And I feel like the reason why they do that is because at 14, that's how old you need to be to fly alone.
Does he even have like not a driver's license, a photo ID?
Right? Do you even have his birth certificate? What do you even do? Yeah,
I think
no.
I forgot. I think it's just. What do you call an ID that's not a driver's license?
An ID. Like an identification.
Yeah, card.
Yeah, does he even have that? I don't know.
Just me and my girlfriend flying to LA. I'm like, stop the plane. What are you all doing?
But this whole time, I'm thinking, okay, they're going to LA. They must live in like Northern California. Like 3-4 hours from LA.
Where'd they come from?
Bitch, they live in Michigan. They in Michigan. I'm thinking they in California. They're going 5 hours. I'm like, California's a big state. They're going 5 hours. They need a flight, 30-minute flight. They're from Michigan. They're coming from Michigan to Los Angeles.
How long of a flight is
They flew across the country for this.
That's wild.
They're not up the road.
Right.
They're not. They've crossed state lines for this.
Ben.
I thought that was
no, it is crazy because it's like you would think they're like, well, let's go to the city for the weekend.
Right.
We live in the country.
Right.
But they're like,
we live in the suburbs of California. Yeah. We live in Calabasas. Let's go to LA.
Right.
No. They're in Michigan, bro.
God.
Bro. They're in Michigan. That's so crazy to me.
The balls on this kid.
The balls on this kid. Is she right there with him? So they pull up at the airport. They land in Los Angeles, and upon arrival, he's already scheming and plotting. He turns to Kaylee, and he's like, "Follow my lead."
Oh my god, he's so scary. He's gonna be like a scammer when he gets old.
He's gonna be a serial killer.
He's gonna be a swindler.
No, but after watching this movie, I thought, okay, I'm like, oh, he's definitely gonna be a movie director or screenwriter after this. I was like, he has no other
option. Yeah, this is gonna be. He's gonna have to exercise those creative. Thoughts.
Those creative thoughts. Like, yeah, okay, this is he's going to film school.
He has to.
He's gonna be in the theater club. He's gonna be he's gonna be like the guy with the video camera everywhere. The president of like the AV club.
Or he's gonna be that one person you meet and you're like, yeah, when I was 14, I created a movie, and they're like doing nothing. Those are his options.
No, he's too.
You think
he's gonna have a lot of ambition.
Okay,
he's gonna do great things.
I hope so.
But anywho, so they arrive at the airport. He's like, follow my lead. You know how they be having like the people at the airport with the signs are like, oh, Mr. Smith.
Yeah,
I'm your driver. They have like the signs. He pulls up. There's Frank. I can't. Who knows his last name? Frank, played by the guy from Scrubs and whatnot. What's his name? Brandon. Donald Fusion, whatever his name is.
That guy.
As Frank, the limousine driver. So he goes up to them and he has like a sign that says like Mr. I don't know, Kavanaugh or something like that. And he's like, hey, Jason's like, hey, I'm Mr. Kavanaugh. And then Frank's like, huh? Come again? Excuse me?
Right.
And he's like, yeah, we're here. We're ready for our ride. And then he's like, I'm sorry, you just look like a little young to be the world's largest fur distributor in North America. And he's like, yeah, it's a family business. I've been selling mink coats and ponchos since I was 8. And then he's like, okay. And he buys it. He buys into it. And he's like,
sir.
He's just so convincing. Such a convincing liar, Jason.
No, that wasn't convincing.
It wasn't convincing.
I'd been like, okay, go put yourself in the limo. Let me make a call.
Wait, let me just double check. He didn't question anything.
Yes. He was like, okay.
He wasn't even wearing a fur coat.
He wasn't even wearing a fur coat. And then, like, literally after they get a limo, a guy with a fur coat,
who is the real Mr. Kavanaugh, who walks around the airport looking lost. So Frank agrees. He doesn't question it too much. And he's like, okay. And then Jason is like, we want to go sightseeing. Do you mind doing that for us, Frank? And he's like, yeah, sure. I can show you Los Angeles. So
they get a little view around the town. They see the palm trees. It's not really much of a montage, but they see a little bit of this, a little bit of that. A slight one. But after the little sightseeing around the Los Angeles, they make it to Marty's studio, or the studio that Marty works on, which is supposed to be like
it's like Universal Studios.
Yes,
it's like a subsidiary of Universal Studios.
It's giving those vibes. So they get out the car.
So it looks like they're at an amusement park.
Yeah, it does. So they get out the car, and right before they leave Frank behind, he gives them their car, and he's like, call me if you ever need anything. I can drive you anywhere. That's what I do. I'm a limousine driver. And they're like, bet. So their plan is to sneak onto one of the lot tours, and then, not sneak onto one, like do a tour, sneak off, and then find Marty's studio office. So they go on a tour. Halfway through, they jump off the van, and then they go looking for Marty, and they find his office. They talk to the receptionist, and they're like, I'm here to see Marty Wolf.
She's like, do you have an appointment? And of course he comes up with another lie, and he's like, ma'am, can you please tell me what kind of world we live in to where the children of their own father have to make an appointment to see him? And the receptionist, Astrid's her name. She's like, Marty Wolf doesn't have any children.
That was a good lie. That was his best lie, I would say.
I mean, I feel like that would be the one I would go with. Yeah. Like, I don't know where his kids.
Yeah.
And then, but she would know that because that's his receptionist. Right. And she's like, he doesn't have any kids. And then Jason is like, that he knows of. And Astrid emphasizes, I'm sorry, you're not getting him with an appointment. So, of course, Jason has to think. He has to come up come up with a diversion.
Yes.
Calls Kaylee over again. At this point, I don't know why she's still saying no.
Yeah, like, what are we doing here?
Y'all have traveled across the country to do this, to make it to Los Angeles.
Only yeses from now on.
Yeah, it's only yeses from here on out. And he's like, help me out. And she's like, no. What do you mean no? We're at his door.
We're here.
Okay? We're here. There is no. We're all in or all out, baby. Like, we're go big. No going home. And she's like, no. And he's like, yes. She's like, no. He's like, yes. She's like, no. He's like, yes. And she's like, fine. And he's like, okay, thanks. Finally. So they sneak into this, like, office room. They make a call. Again, she does, like, the talking.
Yes.
I don't know why. It's always weird. Anywho. So she makes a call to the receptionist line, calling Astrid.
Yeah.
And he tells her to tell Astrid that her car is parked, but it's parked on a dog.
Your car's parked on a dog.
Ma'am, your car is parked on a dog. Because Astrid, you can tell by scoping the scene, looking at her, that she's a dog lover. She has dogs all over the desk. She has pictures of the dog. Her screensaver's a dog. And then he also peeps that her car is a Mazda.
Oh, he knew that?
Yeah,
okay.
the keys were there.
Oh, okay.
Next to one of the dogs. And she's like, ma'am, yes, your Mazda is parked on a dog. And then Astrid's like, a dog? And she was like,
on a dog?
Yes, ma'am. The tail area, it's parked on the tail area to be more specific. And then Jason starts making dog noises, and then Astrid is having a panic attack. She starts to gag at the thought of even being parked on a dog. She's gagging, dry heaving, and she runs off to move her car in a hurry to save this puppy. So this is now their window. Jason and Kaylee have a window, and they take it, and Jason goes off to confront Marty in his office.
How she just stays downstairs on the phone.
Yeah.
Like, why would you not go with him?
Why would you not go with him? So, and meanwhile, Kaylee takes it upon herself to now take over Astrid's job as a receptionist, and she's,
killing it,
answering phone calls, taking messages. She's on the phone with Adam Sandler's people. She's just doing the whole thing.
She's selling it.
She's got into this New Jersey receptionist
that's
gonna
vibe.
Be her calling.
Huh?
That's what she's gonna do. She's gonna be the best receptionist.
Yes.
He's gonna be the screenwriter. She's probably gonna be his publicist or something.
And whenever he needs background or a consultant on secretariness vibes, he's gonna call her.
He's gonna call her up. So she sits there at the desk. And then Jason makes his way to Marty's office. And we are introduced to, we've already been introduced to Marty, but we're also introduced to his assistant, Monty.
I like that name for whatever reason. Monty.
It's different.
I like it.
For a girl too, Monty.
I think it's perfect for the Hollywood. Hey, this is my secretary, Monty.
Oh, yeah. Monty. Did you confirm my 9 o'clock?
Yeah, it's just perfect.
You're right. So we're introduced to Monty, who unfortunately is, crippled with the task of being his assistant, because he's the worst man in America, and he's yelling at her, and he's asking her where his little black book, his handheld is.
Yeah.
And she's like, check your pocket. And he's like, it's not my pocket. He checks his pocket. It's in his pocket. And he's like, okay.
I feel like their relationship is how people are in Hollywood.
I feel like they had sex at one point.
Ew.
You don't feel that?
I just never wanted to think about that.
At one point, I feel like at the very beginning, when she first started working for him.
Oh, I hope not.
I feel like he's definitely made a pass at her.
He's definitely made a pass at her.
But I think at one point she liked him.
I don't like to think of Monty in that light.
She was young and naive. He, big Hollywood movie producer, hotshot. He's like, you can come work for me, and you're not too bad on the eyes. And she's like, oh my god. He's rich and he can put me places and he likes me. And she's like, he's actually not that bad looking. He's kind of sweet. And he was, a facade. And they had sex.
I hope not. I think highly of Monty. We all make mistakes, but
we all make mistakes. It doesn't make me think any less of her that she had sex with him.
No. And I just not an image I would like to see. So
it's not an image.
What a hard pass.
I think, or they dated.
Oh God, I hope not.
At one point, they definitely dated. There's something there. There's history there.
I don't know. To me, that's just how my idea of Hollywood and secretaries are. You yell at them, and then sometimes they yell at you back, and it's just
right. But in this scenario, they've dated.
Okay.
So, Jason walks into them bickering, and he's like, "Hey, hello, I'm here." After a moment, they finally recognize him, and then Marty's like, "Who are you, and why are you here?" And he's like, "Hello, it's me, Jason Shepard. I wrote Big Fat Liar."
Ooh.
And then Monty's standing there looking very confused and perplexed. And Marty tells her, hey, cancel my 12 o'clock.
Yeah, skedaddle.
I got to talk to Mr. Shepherd here. So Monty leaves in confusion and Jason enters the room for a conversation.
Yes. So Jason's there and he's like, hey, I know that you know that we know that I wrote The Big Fat Liar. He's like, Jason's like, look, I don't want to cause any ruffles, anything in the Hollywood realm. But what I need you to do is I need you to call my father and tell him the truth. That's all I'm asking for. That's all he's asking for. He's not asking for a cut. He's not asking for Marty to go down for anything. He just wants his dad to know the truth so his dad can think better of him. And at first Marty's like, oh yeah, I could do that for you. Of course. That's it. Perfect. So Marty takes out Jason's paper that he has locked up in his safe. He brings it over to Jason. He starts to light up a cigar, and he drops his cigar on the paper. It catches on fire. He's like, "Oh no! What's happening?
I don't know why that mattered, but
I guess it's just like he's being a dick.
I mean, but like that's not. You're not here for the paper.
Yeah,
You're
that's
here
true.
for him to call the dad. So who cares if he sets on fire?
I guess that was his only evidence.
You're in summer school anyway. I mean, yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
That was his only evidence. That's true. Yeah, that's true. So yeah, he lights it on fire, and
then he pours liquor on it.
And now it's torched. It's in flames. It's just dust and crumbles at this point. And then Jason is like, "You are the worst. What is wrong with you?" And then he's like, "Be for real, kid. You really think I am going to risk everything?" And which, honestly, in the grand scheme of things, it's not like he was asking for money. He wasn't asking for a cut. All he asked was, "Hey, you can have the story.
Right.
I came all the way over here. All I want you to do is call my daddy."
And what's so wrong with giving this kid a story by and kicking him to the curb?
Right.
You could have gave him a crappy deal.
Right.
A story by.
You could have gave him $10,000, a nice little check, college fund, and just be like, yeah, based on the story by this child.
Because he didn't write a movie. He wrote a 3-page paper.
And then you filled in the lines.
Yes, and you were inspired by that.
You didn't even fill in the lines. Your assistant filled in the lines. And
that's why you got to tell the truth, because all this from just one big lie.
So yeah,
big fat liar.
He sets the paper on fire. He tells Jason that he will not be calling his father, and he calls security on him to kick him out.
He tells him, "Welcome to Hollywood. It's a
doggy dog world. Cats eating cats, fish eating fish." And then Jason's like, "This isn't the last of me. I will get you back, Marty Wolf."
So Marty.
And he'll die on that hill.
Yes.
Jason will die on this hill.
He's not lying. So Jason's getting kicked out. Kaylee's down there still playing secretary. When the real assistant comes back, she's like, "Oh, what are you doing?" And Kaylee's like, "Okay, Jason Peoples called. I made it 12 o'clock for them.
I called Adam Sandler's people. He wants to get lunch. I sent flowers to Margaret. Her cat died.
Yeah.
And Astrid, I booked you a 3 o'clock massage appointment because you really look like you could use some me time." And then Astrid's like, "Thank you, kind person."
I like Astrid.
And Kaylee's off, and she follows behind Jason.
Yes.
And she's like, "Bro, what happened?"
What the heck? So they are now kicked off the production lot. Kaylee's like, "Okay, great. We tried. Let's go home." But Jason's like, "No. I need Marty to admit that he stole the story to my dad so my dad can love me again." And to prove that he's very serious about that, he shows Kaylee that he stole Marty's Palm Pilot, or his little black book, his personal organizer that has all the information that Marty needs about his stay. So he can keep track of him, and then they can bring down Marty. First, Kaylee, of course, is like, "No, where are we going to stay? No. What are we going to eat? No, we can't do this. We're 14. And eventually she's like, "Okay, fine. I will help you." So after Kaylee agrees, they're like, "Okay, so where are we going to live?" Jason sees this warehouse, and they go inside of it, and it's filled with movie props. It's actually really cool.
We see a lot because this movie was actually filmed on Universal Studios property.
Yeah,
so we see a lot of Universal Picture movie props there. We see the costume that Jim Carrey was wearing in The Grinch.
Did we?
Yeah. Were you not paying attention?
No,
we see
there's so much in there.
We see the DeLorean from Back to the Future. We see that
like
car.
a dinosaur.
We see some Jurassic Park stuff. We see a lot of stuff in there.
It's pretty cool.
No, it's like a kid's like dream.
Yes.
I was like, this is so. As a child, I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. Look at all the fun stuff they have.
So they decide this is going to be the place that they're going to stay. They're going to hide out until closing, and then after closing, it's turn up time, baby. And then you get like a montage of them shopping in the costume department, which is really cool. I really want to go to like a movie's costume department and see all of like the million ties that they have and the different outfits. And I would love that. When Riverdale ended, they had a warehouse sale for everything that they wore on set. And I wish I could have went. And then people were posting about it on TikTok, and I just love that. In their outfits. Yes.
Like in reality?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
In LA. And like people on TikTok were posting about it. I was like, oh, I wish I could have gone to that.
Oh my goodness.
But it was like they were selling all the stuff, and people were like putting it on and like comparing it to the different episodes, like some of the costumes. It was like,
wow.
And you know, stuff was on. I mean, some stuff was expensive still, but it was cheaper than what they bought it for. But some stuff was still expensive.
I'm certain.
But there was like some good quality stuff. I'm like, oh, I wish.
Oh, that's so cool. That's so cute.
But that's where they're doing their montage in like the costume department. They're trying on different things. They're touching all the freaking ties. It looks amazing. So much fun.
We got a fun movie montage.
Yes,
I love a good movie
as always.
Montage. It's so great.
Yes. So it's been a long day. They go to sleep, and then the next morning, it's time to get to work, honey.
What we
bills, receipts,
screenshots, proof to prove that you have been nothing but a bully and a liar. Shout out to Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, baby.
Yes.
For a fantastic season finale.
Hallelujah.
Mm-hmm. They're using his schedule, little black book, phone. I don't even know.
To track him down.
What you call it. To, figure out his schedule, and they're just going to cause havoc.
They got his ass. So the next morning, Jason's like, okay, it's go time. So he calls up his road dog, Frank. Hey, Frank, we ready? Come pick us
up in 20. We're ready to go sightseeing, Frank. So Frank comes, and he picks them up, and they're like, hey, Frank, take us here. And Frank is like, oh, yeah? Take you there? You guys are a bunch of liars. You're not the real, I forgot what a name we assigned the fur coat distributor of North America, but Kavanaugh, you're not the real Mr. Kavanaugh. You guys owe me $100 for that ride yesterday. Y'all almost cost me my job. And then they're trying to apologize to him. Frank doesn't want to hear it. And he's like, I got a mouthful of stuff for y'all, but I'm going to keep it PG. And they're like, Frank, listen to us. And he's like, no. I'm like, Frank, please. But we're just, Frank don't want to hear it. He don't want to hear it. Nothing they gotta say.
What was Frank gonna do with them? Is he gonna kill them?
I don't know. Maybe.
Or was they gonna get $100 from Frank? They're kids.
But then they get out the word that they were just trying to get revenge on Marty Wolf, and Frank's like, whoa. You guys are trying to take down Wolf?
So stupid. It's like, whoa, you guys are 14 trying to take down Wolf?
He's like, I'm in. And then they're like, yeah, you know him? And he was like, know him. I used to be his driver. I worked for him. And then I asked to audition for one of his movies, gave him my headshot and everything. As you do. And instead, he could have just told me no, right? He could have just been like, no, you can't audition for one of my movies. But instead, he writes a loser on my headshot and sends it to every casting director in town. Blackballs me. I know. I'm unworkable. That's messed up.
That is messed up. It's also unnecessary. And also, that's why you have shitty movies, Marty Wolf.
Right, that's why your movies are crap. Yeah. He's probably better off driving limos than being in one of your garbage trash movies.
Exactly.
We also failed to mention that Marty Wolf is currently filming a picture entitled, I don't know, it's called like Chicken in the Black Eye or something.
I wrote it down somewhere, but we'll mention something Woodford and something. It's like a cop chicken.
It's a cop movie. It's with Jaleel White playing himself. Steve Urkel, the one and only Steve Urkel. He's playing himself as Jaleel White, a parody to himself, and he's in a film with a chicken.
Yes,
it's like a cop movie.
Up and coming
chicken
movie. It's gonna be the movie of the year.
Urkel or something.
So with Frank now on board, Jason and Kaylee begin phase 1 of their plan, which is surveillance. And they do this by going to Marty's house, so he can learn more about the enemy. So at Marty's house, they see him swimming in his pool, which he does every morning. He does 25 laps, which is pretty cool. He doesn't look like he does 25 laps, but teach his own. And then next they go to his office. And there they see Marty having a meeting about Big Fat Liar. He's meeting with Monty, and he's meeting with his director. His director is trying to like suggest different shots about shooting the movie, and Marty rudely shoots him down.
He's like birds and cameras from 12 different angles and flying doves. And then Marty's like, we don't have the budget for that. We can only afford like one camera. He's like, shut up. Stop talking.
Sorry.
It's not going to make me any money.
Yes. And then Monty breaks the news that we are $2 million over the budget.
Which isn't bad.
And our new budget has yet to be approved.
And if we don't get approved, we can't start shooting in the next, I don't know, day or two.
Yeah.
And then, but Monty's like, you have to meet with Marcus Duncan.
I call him Duncan.
Yeah, Mr. Duncan. So he can approve the budget. She's like, you can go to his house. You have a meeting with him today, tomorrow, something like that. Tomorrow. And then Marty being like the douche that he is, and he was like, if Duncan wants a meeting with me, then he can come to my office. I'm not meeting with the VP, blah, 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 blah. And then Monty's like, hold your horses.
Calm down.
Because he's not the VP anymore. He's now the president.
Ooh.
And then that causes him to slow his roll. And he's like, oh, well, okay, yeah, go ahead and schedule that because we don't want to,
miss that.
So,
yes.
Yeah.
And then more people come into this meeting. We have the VP of publicity.
And so he's going on this big old rant how the movie needs to be well promoted and well, advertised and everything like that. And he wants commercials, billboards, all of the things. And the VP, who knows her name? I don't know. The VP of publicity, she's like, yeah, hi, that's me. I can handle that. I can take care of that. And he's like, oh, you're the VP of publicity? You sure you're not the VP of Twinkies?
The nerve.
Because she was a larger woman. He called her the VP of Twinkies.
Oh my! Someone bring this man down.
Oh my God! The VP of Twinkies.
Have you looked in the mirror?
You're no spring chicken yourself.
Yeah.
I fell to the floor when he called her the VP of Twinkies because I did not see that coming.
That was wild. It was
like,
so
the VP
rude.
of Twinkies? I was like, that's awful.
Terrible in front of people. Oh.
So now, just like throughout the day, we are just seeing Marty just be an awful person to everyone he encounters and works with. So next he meets with like the guy who's over like the stunts and stuff. So we meet this guy. He seems like a very nice man.
Love him.
I don't know his name.
He's like your dad who was in the army, but he's not racist.
Yeah, he's like a Vietnam vet.
Yeah.
He's doing this now.
You trust
Looks
him.
like he really enjoys it. You trust him.
Yeah.
Real great guy. Looks like he's about in his 60s. So kind.
He's got a granddaughter.
So we see they're testing out some kind of stuff. We see like this stunt double fall from this building onto this mat out of this glass window. Marty comes out, this head of stunt directing, whatever his name is. He asks him, okay, Mr. Wolf, what did you think? And he was like, yeah, I liked it. But I think I liked it better when I saw it 50 years ago, you old ancient dinosaur, old grandpa man. And then the guy's like, oh, okay, well. And then Marty introduces him to the new director of stunting stunt stuff. And he's on the nerd side. Director. And his name's, let's call him Tim. And he's like, this is Tim. Tim is a new age, he's a nerd, and he does everything on his computer, just like it should be. It's going to look much better. And he's like, you two are going to meet tomorrow and finalize everything that needs to be finalized for this movie. Okay. And then our old, sweet Vietnam vet is like, I can't do that. I'm off tomorrow. I'm taking a personal day.
Are you?
And then Marty's like, personal day? Personal day? He's like, you can have a personal day when you're dead. You're not getting a personal day. And then he's like, I'm taking my granddaughter to a party. And he sees the party. He's like, absolutely not. You're not doing it. Sorry.
My favorite part is he goes, a personal day, you can have a personal day when you're dead in like 6 months.
Oh, yeah, in 6 months. Yeah, in 6 months when you're dead. Oh my God, he's so freaking awful. Why is he's so funny.
He was dragging him.
Oh my God. So he shows him like the birthday invitation and everything. Tells him no, he can't do it. And Jason and Kaylee are like hiding out.
Yeah, they've been watching everything. After a day full of recon, Jason and Kaylee head back to one of the warehouses to get supplies. Some of the things they pick up include hair dye and mega glue, so that'll come into play later. And as they're shopping around, Kaylee she like sees like some like old decrepit little thing. She's like, oh, I wonder how Brett's doing with grandma. And then we get a cut to
she sees a baby Yoda.
A baby Yoda, that's what it is. Oh yeah,
and she thinks of her Nana.
Yeah. So we get a cut to Brett. He's having a grand old time with Kaylee's grandmother.
He's having a great time. We don't know if Nana's having a
yes.
great time.
So he is having her help him train.
She's forcing him. He's forcing her to spot him on like push-ups. Nana's like 40 pounds.
Yes.
And she's 4 feet tall.
Or sit-ups.
Yeah, on sit-ups. And she's spotting him. And she's like, how many more, Kaylee? And he's like, 50, Grandma. And she's like, oh my God. And then he's like, Grandma, you could really work on your own, triceps and biceps too.
Love it.
And then so he gets Grandma working out and she's lifting yarn.
It's so cute.
And they're having a bonding moment and it's really cute, but she's low-key being tortured. So we get a snippet of them. We get a little update on them.
I love them. So the next day is part 2 of the phase, which is the takedown. So they arrive at Marty's home, and before he gets into the pool, they pour blue dye throughout the whole pool. Marty comes out, he dances. What song does he dance to? That moment lives in my head. I can't remember what song.
Hungry like the wolf.
Yes.
Na, 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 na. And I'm hungry like the wolf.
Yep, that song. So Marty goes into the pool, and this allows the kids to sneak into the home. And once they're inside, Jason finds Marty's headset, and he puts super glue on top of it. And then they go to the shower, and they find his shampoo or his conditioner, and then they put orange dye in it, in his shampoo. So they're doing that. Marty has finished his workout. He's getting out of the pool. Unbeknownst to him, he is blue as hell. He don't see it yet. So he's heading upstairs. They're still upstairs. They're not really concerned though. I would be like sweating bricks. I don't feel like they're really concerned that they're in the same room with him.
Like they're in his house.
Yeah, and they're like super close. But he's coming up. They're going down. They've done what they needed to do. Marty still hasn't looked in the mirror. He hops in the shower and he's having a great morning. He starts to lather up that shampoo, puts it in his hair, and he looks down on his hands and he realizes his hands are orange. And he's like, he steps out of the shower, looks in the mirror, and not only is his body blue, his hair is orange. Double whammy. He screams.
He looks like a fool.
Looks like a backwards Oompa Loompa.
He looks like a Smurf.
A Smurf. There we go. So in the limo, Kaylee calls. So Kaylee and Jason, they've done their deed. They're off. And in the limo, Kaylee playing secretary again. She calls Monty pretending to be Duncan's assistant. And she's like, oh my God, I know Duncan and Marty have a meeting at like 6 o'clock this morning, but I totally forgot to give you Duncan's new address. Oh, he moved. I didn't know he moved. Yeah, that was quick. Yeah, it's also so beautiful. Yeah.
It's the sickest spot in the 90210. Yeah. So she gives him the address to the party that our sweet little Vietnam war vet, head of stunts, granddaughter's party that she was going to. She gives them the address to that.
Yes.
So instead of him going to a meeting with Duncan, he's going to a child's birthday party.
Gotcha.
So Monty takes it down and she calls up Marty and she's like, oh, good, I'm glad I caught you. I'm glad you answered. I didn't tell you, I didn't know, but Duncan moved, so this is the new address. And he's like, yeah, I'm gonna need you to reschedule that meeting with Duncan.
I love how he's blue, his hair's orange, but that boy put on a fresh suit.
He's dressed.
Cause no way, I'm wearing a hoodie.
Right, I'm like in all black.
Yes, no way you're catching me.
I'm actually not leaving the house. Like, I'm gonna find a solution at the house.
Yeah.
The solution needs to come to me. I'm not going to the solution. But anywho, he's like, yeah, I need you to reschedule that meeting. She's like, what? Reschedule it? And he was like, yeah, reschedule it. I'm gonna need you to like get one of the makeup chicks to come to the office. I can't do this. And she was like, we can't reschedule, blah, blah. And he's like, fine. Whatever. He's like, tell Duncan I'm on the way. I'll be there. I'll figure it out.
Marty out.
And so he makes his way to the new address and he pull up at the scene.
Oh, and before he hangs up the phone with her, he asks Monty, did you finish the script?
Oh,
No,
yeah.
I'm still working on it.
And she's like, yeah, I'm still working on it, but I could really use some help. And he's like, help? What do I pay you for? Like, this is your job. This is what you need to be doing.
That's wild.
That's so crazy.
I'm the secretary.
Your movie. I'm your assistant. Like what?
Right, and I'm sure.
Why am I writing your movies? And I also want to point out he's a producer. He's not a screenwriter.
I was just
it's
about
not
to
his
say
job.
that. You don't. You should
it's
have
not
someone.
his job to write the scripts.
Does Hollywood know how Hollywood works?
Like I'm seriously, Dan Schneider. What were
Right.
you thinking when you wrote this?
Tripping.
You know what I read? I didn't think it was really know the wording, but whoever wrote Meet the Parents. Apparently there was like different versions of the script.
Oh.
And he came in and like cleaned it up. He was like, "This was a mess." He just came in and spruced it up. He's like, "This movie needs this, and this." So
I wonder how. I want to see the person who wrote the beginning half of it, and like, how do they have a career? You know, it's just like how were you able to write such?
What do you mean?
Like, how were you able to write such a shitty script?
Oh,
and then someone come.
Well,
over.
Dan Schneider wrote it, so.
Oh, he's not a writer. Is he a writer?
He does all the things.
Okay.
Writer, producer, creator.
Okay, he's just like, I'm just throwing stuff out there.
I mean, he wrote Good Burger, I think.
That's funny.
Yeah. So
I wanted someone to clean that up too. It's like the base is
I
there.
don't think anyone cleaned up Good Burger. No one cleaned that up.
That was a good movie.
I mean, it was, but I really don't think anything.
Yeah,
They're like,
makes
let's
sense.
leave this as is. I don't
Yeah.
think anyone came and cleaned that up. So
It was chaotic. What else? So Marty arrives at the new address to see Duncan. But once he arrives, he meets the cleaning lady, and she's like,
she speaks Spanish. She
speaks
doesn't
Spanish.
She doesn't speak English.
She's like,
And she just sees a blue man with orange hair, and she's like, "Oh yeah, come in."
come.
And
she tries, before she brings him to the room where he thinks Duncan is, but she knows where the children's are. She's like, just a warning, they play rough.
And then she says everything in Spanish, but the only word that she says in English is rough. And so he's like, "Rough, honey, Duncan's going to be eating at the palm of my hand by the time I'm finished with him. I eat rough for breakfast."
It's kind of
weird.
weird.
She's like, "Okay."
Okay. So
She's like, "I don't know what it..." And in Spanish, she says, "I don't know what you're saying." And she walks off. So then he opens the doors to the room, and to his dismay, he sees hundreds of little kids everywhere. And one of them, who is, I guess, the party of which the party's for, he's like, "The clown's here! Let's beat him up! Get the clown!" And then he's like, "Senorita."
Wrong room.
And then they attack him.
He says, "I'm senorita." Senorita.
And then they attack him, so he's being attacked, mauled, harassed by a bunch of like 8-year-old kids, and it's him versus them.
Yes.
And then the main one, the lead, the strong arm kid, he's like, "You're going down, clown."
Why?
And he's like, "You think you can mess with me? I'm Marty freaking Wolf." He's like, "Y'all are going down."
So
he's like
stupid.
literally entertaining this. He's taking on these kids.
He said, I will fight any man,
To
woman,
the
or
death.
child.
To the death. So then the main kid whose birthday party is, somehow he makes it to the staircase. And he jumps off.
Well, it's not even his party.
I think it is his party.
Is it not the granddaughter's party?
No, she was going to the party.
Oh.
He was taking her to the party.
Oh, he was taking her to the party.
Which I don't know why you need the whole day off just to take your granddaughter to the
He's
party.
adorable.
I guess, yeah. And pick her up and go get ice cream with her.
Eric's so cute.
He's so sweet. Anywho, so the kid whose party it's for, he makes his way up to the staircase. And he's hanging from the railing. And he's like, "Hey, clown!" And then Marty looks up and he's like, he knows he's in big trouble.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, fuck." And then so the kid jumps from the second floor onto him. And, he's being pummeled. This is where he loses.
It's a terrible day.
He loses. So
Yeah.
then, after he has been abused by these small children.
Well, while that was going
Oh,
on.
what was going on while that?
While that was all going on, Frank, Kaylee, and Jason have arrived. They're outside tinkering with his car. Putting this wire there, that wire there. Frank is like, don't touch that.
Don't touch that. He's like, "Oh, stop." But so yeah, they are messing with his blue convertible. Very expensive vehicle, it looks like.
Yeah. It's a Corvette something.
They've done their duties. They hop back in the limo and they're on their way. Meanwhile, Monty has just been abused.
Marty
has just been abused. Why do they have two M characters?
Yes. How dare you?
They have just been abused by these children. He's out the door and he calls up Monty and he's like, "I don't know what address you gave me, but it wasn't Duncan's house." And then she was like, "It wasn't? Well, how was I supposed to know?" And he was like, "Look, you need to fix this, figure it out, call Duncan, and reschedule it." And she was like, "Fine, I'll just reschedule the meeting." And he was like, I mean, yeah, that's all you have to say. Like, why are you yelling?
God, Marty, sometimes you just really piss me off. I don't know what she
And
said to
then
them.
she's like, I'll just reschedule it, Marty. And then he's like, I mean, yeah, that's what I asked you to do. That's all you have to say. Like, why are you yelling? What a gaslighter.
Right. I thought it was cute when they were yelling at each other. I was like, oh, you guys have like a very toxic love-hate relationship.
I don't know about love, but very toxic.
Yeah.
For sure.
For sure.
So he gets in his car, he's on his way. But of course he notices when he presses on the brakes, the foghorn goes off in the car.
The foghorn.
The horn.
The foghorn.
Horn just didn't sound good.
It's very concerned about the foghorn. The regular horn, maybe, but the foghorn,
the car
who
horn,
turned that on?
the car horn, the honker.
The honker?
The honk.
The horn!
The horn just didn't sound right.
That was right.
So he steps on the brakes, the horn goes off. He puts on his signals and the windshield wipers turn on. And he turns up the radio volume. No, he turns down the radio volume. The volume goes up. And he's like, what's happening?
Ooh,
meanwhile, I'm Blue by Blue Man's Group.
And that song, I'm blue, I can die, I can die. I'm blue,
so that song is playing, and he's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, he's not going anywhere.
And then, just when he thought, he's had enough, he's like, I'm blue, I just got beat up by these little kids, my convertible is acting crazy. Who pulls up? The only Jason Shepard pulls up in the limo. He pulls down the window, and he says, hey, Wolf, what's up? How's your day been going?
You.
And he's like, you? He's like, you've been doing all of this? And he's like, look, all it takes is one phone call to my dad. And he gives him his card, and he's like, here's his number. And then Kaylee pops out, she waves, she's like, hey. And then they pull off.
Yes.
So now he knows who's behind all of this trickery, and now he knows what he has to do.
You know what's so funny?
For it to stop.
I don't think he thought that anyone was messing with him. I really don't think he did.
Which is weird. Yeah. Why do you think you just miraculously have blue skin and orange
the
hair?
worst thing ever.
Like, you didn't think, like, who the fuck did this to me? Why did that... Someone had...
By the fourth thing.
Yeah, like, someone has to have done this to you.
Yeah. I just love that.
At least by arriving to the clown party, you should have known.
I just love that.
Like, you're being set up.
It's just like, it didn't even cross his mind.
It wasn't even a thought.
I love that. I just love that for Jason. It's like, hey.
Yeah. It's just
how's your day going?
I'm glad you, at no point did you ever think this was me. I'm glad you're not that intelligent.
I would have thought it was at least Monty messing with me. And I wouldn't have thought Jason, but I'd be like, this Monty trying to quit. Like,
what's the unfortunate thing is, it could have been any human being messing with him, because he has burned so many bridges and has wronged so many people. He probably could come up with a laundry list of who it could be. If you ever got murdered, we'd be like, who's the suspect? There's so freaking many because everybody hates this man. So, he now figures out that Jason is the culprit between all of the bad things that is happening to him. And he's like, F. So now he's driving. He's on his way to his meeting
with Duncan, his rescheduled meeting.
This is the second time he's had to reschedule. Meanwhile, Monty is in the office with Duncan, trying to be like, I know, he's on his way, sorry. La, 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 la. He gets rear-ended by this old lady, right? Who forces him to now rear-end this dude who's driving a monster truck.
But it was really like a love tap.
It was a love tap. And the man's car is so high off the ground. His tires is probably the height of you.
Yeah. His
car was so high off the ground. And Marty's car is so small that it just hit the tires. It didn't hit the car. It hit the tire.
It's fine.
It was a love tap. So then this large hillbilly monster truck driving man gets out of the car.
Basher.
He's pissed. He comes out. He checks his wheel. He looks at Marty and he said, I am going to kill you. And then Marty's like, whoa, man, take it easy. It was just a love tap. And he was like, I'm going to murder you. And he's like, look, Asher,
That
whatever
can get you
your
like
name
$20.
He's like, look, I'm sure we can find some kind of monetary agreement to let this all go. The old bag rammed into me. And then the old lady's like, up yours, blue boy. And then she drives off. And he's like, oh, great. Yeah, that's lovely vocabulary for a woman of your advanced years. He tells her. And then
He ain't got that smoke for the man driving the car,
he
though.
ain't got that. Mm-mm. So then the lady, she drives off. The truck driver, or the monster car driver, gets back in his car. And then Marty's like, yeah, you better run. Yeah, you better walk away. That's what I thought. Uh-huh. And then so he's driving off. But then he turns his car around and he is gunning for Monty's blue convertible. Yeah. And then he realizes what he's doing. And he's like, oh, no, please, be for real. He's like, bro, we can talk about this. Right. We can fix this. It's not that serious. Please, stop. And he's getting closer. He gets closer. He inches, and then Monty runs out of the way, and he runs over his blue convertible for a love tap.
He was off of that.
He's crazy.
And he wasn't, Marty wasn't even acting crazy.
He wasn't. He was like, I'm sorry the lady ran into me.
Yeah.
We can work this out. And he was just like, no, you hit my tire. I am now going to demolish your car.
Like, sir, you should have your license taken.
He shouldn't be on the street,
nope.
This man. He shouldn't have children. He shouldn't be in the world, honestly. He's almost as bad as Marty.
Yes.
But anywho, so he runs over his car. So now...
No car.
This wasn't even Jason's doing. This is just... He just got...
Pure luck.
This is just luck. Pure luck. So now he's had one hell of a day. So now he has to get his car totaled. The total car man.
Towed.
The tow truck driver. Thank you. I was like, what are these words that I'm trying to find? The tow truck driver is like, they told me to pick up a little blue car, but they didn't say anything about a little blue man.
Oh, man. That's my favorite part.
A little blue man.
I think you're so fucking funny, huh? Yeah.
So now, Monty, Mr. Wolf has to call Monty.
Yes.
And he calls her up and he's like, look, cancel the meeting with Duncan. And Monty is in the office with him, and she's already made enough excuses. Duncan is pissed because he already doesn't like Marty.
Yeah,
he's already canceled on him, and the movie is over budget. And Monty's like, we can't cancel. And he was like, just lie to him and tell him that it was your fault. And then Monty's like, I'm not doing that. I'm not lying to the new freaking president of Universal Studios. And then he's like, look, sweetheart, I don't know if you realize, but if I go down, you're riding shotgun. So you better come up with something real quick. So he tells her,
goodness,
come up with something, and he will talk to him at the premiere party for, what's the chicken movie that has
Taker and Fowl?
The movie that Jaleel White Urkel is in.
Yes.
That he is currently making.
And that's tonight.
Yes, that premiere party is tonight.
So cut to the premiere of Marty's movie, Maker and Fowl.
Chicken and Urkel.
Starring Jaleel White.
Urkel.
And it's like a movie. There's a red carpet. There's fans. There's people.
The people going crazy for the chicken.
Yes, people. F Urkel. Let me see that chicken. So everyone's there. This news reporter is a news guy who goes, at this big premiere, everyone's wondering, where is Wolf? And then boom, we see Wolf arrive to the premiere on a bus. Blue as ever. I'm surprised he even knows how to catch a bus.
Right.
Because I don't.
Why didn't he just call a cab?
That's a good point. Why didn't he just call a cab? This is for dramatic effects. So he hops off the bus, and who's there waiting for him?
On the bench.
Jason.
He's like, hey, Wolf. And he looks at him.
Now, that is some crazy thing. Just to be, just knew that he was going to get.
I mean, yeah.
I guess you knew he was going to be there, but just to be waiting. I'm like, this kid is crazy. Actually, he didn't call his dad.
Well, she does have his schedule. He does have his schedule. So he knew he was going to go. And
just to be sitting there. I'm like, hello, Wolf.
Right.
Psycho.
So he's there waiting for him. And he's like, Shepherd. And then he's like, look, all we got to do to make all this stop, you know what it takes? One little phone call. And Marty is like, you think that I'm scared by a little couple of pranks done by a 12-year-old? He's like, sweetheart, there's a no chance I'm calling your father. And so he walks away. And then so Jason's like, so be it. He calls up Kaylee and he's like, he didn't accept my offer. Mm-mm. We're moving into phase 2. Kaylee's like, what's phase 2?
3.
phase 3. Kayla's like, what's phase 3? And he's like, don't worry about it. Tonight we're going to our
This
first...
is the twist. Phase 3 is the twist.
Don't worry about it. Tonight we're going to our first Hollywood party.
Yes.
So, meanwhile, I guess everyone goes to the movie premiere. Shocker, the movie's awful.
Yes. Everyone at the party, after party,
is talking about how awful it is.
Yeah.
We see a cameo from one and only Kenan Thompson.
Yes, he's there.
A co-star to Amanda Bynes from All That.
Oh.
It's a Nickelodeon reunion. We love it.
Oh my God, I forget. I don't know why I think Keenan's so much older than Amanda Bynes.
I think he is, though.
Yeah.
I mean, he's significant. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, she was really young when she was on All That.
Okay, I can't remember.
They were like teenagers, and she had to be like 9.
Was she not? Oh, yeah, she was
really
young, huh? Yeah.
And then we see a cameo from Dustin Diamond, R.I.P. Screech from Saved by the Bell.
I forgot he died.
Yeah, he died. Lung cancer. He didn't even smoke. Wasn't a smoker.
That's crazy.
Isn't it? And then we also see a cameo from the director of the actual film, Big Fat Liar. All of them are talking about how horrible the movie was.
Shitty. Terrible. Hated it.
Then we're walking around. We see Mr. Wolf, and then he bumps into Duncan, who's at the party, who tells him that the movie Urkel and Chicken was horrible. It cost them in the studio $20 million. $30 million because it was so bad. That's how much money they have lost. And he tells him that he is pulling the plug on Big Fat Liar.
Whoa.
And then he's like, whoa. Wolf introduces himself to Duncan's wife, Shaquita. And she's like, it's Sandra.
He's the worst. Excuse me, Shaquita.
And then...
Oh my God. He's the worst. I think that part had me joked.
Oh my God. I was so weak. And he's like, excuse us, Shanae. After she corrected him. And he's like, Shanae, will you excuse us? And then so... After he's insulted...
Duncan ain't mad enough to me. Because you just
insulted my wife.
Okay, you're done.
So after he's insulted Duncan's wife, Marty pulls him to the side and is like, look, you're probably wondering why I'm blue in the face, why my hair is orange, but I just have this great presentation, this great pitch that will really sell Big Fat Liar to not only you, but to the rest of the investors, the producers, everyone else who's here. And I'm going to give it in a couple of minutes. And he's like, that's fine, but if you like tank this, I'm pulling the plug.
You're done.
And Monty's overhearing all of this. And he's like, yeah, I got it. Totally under control. Monty follows him into the kitchen. And then she's like, what presentation are you about to do and give? And he's like, I literally have no idea. I don't know anything. He's like, I just made that up. And then, lo and behold, guess who walks in? I don't know how he got in the house. Hello. But Jason comes through. And he's like, I can help. And he's like, who let you in here? And he's like, look, all I gotta do, call my dad. I wrote this story anyway.
Know, right.
It's not gonna take me anything to just come up with like some filler lines, some storylines.
I'm a good liar.
To add to the story. And then he's like, I wrote it after all. And then Monty's like, hold on. So you mean to tell me this 14-year-old kid
really wrote this movie?
Really wrote Big Fat Liar? And he's like, no, I mean, he wrote a paper that had the same title. Look. Relax. So you call
mind your business.
Jason, and he's like, look, Shepard, if you can get me out of this, I will tell your father that you wrote Big Fat Liar, Aaron Brockovich, and Saving Private Ryan.
Not Aaron Brockovich.
If you can help me out of this, I will call up your papa. And Kaylee is like, don't do it, Jason. But he agrees.
Why would you do it backwards? Why would he agree to that?
First. Yeah, just call my dad first, like real quick. Yeah,
so stupid.
Yeah, it's true.
And why don't you listen to Kaylee and Monty? Why didn't you help this child out?
Right.
Somebody help this boy.
So Jason agrees to do it, and he has an earpiece that is permanently glued to his ear.
Yes, still from the one from this morning.
And Jason is feeding him what to say during this presentation. So Marty goes out on the terrace of his very large, Hollywood Hills home.
Hello, everyone.
And he introduces himself. He's like, you're probably wondering why I'm blue.
Big Fat Liar. BFL. Biffle, as it's come to be known. Is full of action, romance, effects. Oh, you bet. But what it lacks right now is a message.
Trooper's girlfriend makes this new potion, which is supposed to make him shrink, but instead causes him to change color.
Why?
Because now, the twist is, he can't even lie about his feelings anymore.
You see, his girlfriend, Penny, she makes Trooper an antidote, which instead of curing him, causes him to change colors.
When he's bummed out about stuff, he turns blue.
When he's depressed, he turns blue.
When he's mad, his hair turns red.
When he's angry, boom! His curly locks turn the color of a flaming brush fire. The emotions in this movie are just so painful. They're painful because they hit home right here. In the old corazon, who among us hasn't told a little white lie? Our picture looks the audience right in the eye and says, enough is enough. Lying has got to stop. The truth, and the truth alone, shall set ye free. Friends, God bless all of you. God bless America, and God bless Big Fat Liar!
And he basically, wins over the crowd. He wins over Duncan, and Duncan's like, hey, you got one more chance. Don't mess this up, or your movie's done, and you're done.
And he's like, yeah, totally.
Totally, dude.
I got this.
Easy peasy. So back inside,
they're all in the kitchen.
yes. Jason gives Marty his phone to call his dad. Marty picks it up. And he's like, at first he pretends like he's talking to Jason's dad. Then he's like, it's Jason again. Security, please come remove him. And security comes.
Never on the phone with
Never,
Jason's
yeah,
father.
never.
He called security on him
The whole time. And then the security guard comes again. I guess he's been waiting for Jason. Security guard's like, this is the kid we've been waiting for.
He's like, yeah, Jason Shepard, you're one real piece of work.
Get a life, dude. So the security guard takes Kaylee and Jason away. Monty is sitting there left looking disgusted, distraught. What am I a part of? What am I doing? Why am I watching
this grown-ass man destroy these little kids?
Why?
Why am I here?
Yes. Why am I doing? So the security guard brings the two kids back to the warehouse so they can pack up because he is going to make sure they get on a flight back to Michigan tomorrow morning.
And so Kaylee is really having a hard time gripping all of this.
She's like,
we can't do this. We can't give up your Jason Shepard. You have to have another
so close.
thought, a plan, something up your sleeve. She's like, what are you going to do? And he's like, you know what? There's really only one thing left for me to do. And he calls up his dad. And he's like, you know, Dad, I haven't really been 100% truthful about where I've been or what I've been doing these last couple of days. And his dad says, the truth? I guess, he tells him the whole story.
And that's when Jamie, we might as well do a three-way, because, bitch, where are you?
Right.
Where are you?
Where is your sister?
Could you imagine?
While you in Los Angeles and we live in Michigan. Where is your sister?
Where's your sister? But she's not even checking up on him.
Right.
She's not even covering her bases.
I mean, in the grand scheme of things, I would never think my little brother would have caught a flight to Los Angeles when we live in Michigan.
But you would have never not called him the whole weekend.
Yeah, she wild. She's slipping through the cracks.
She's not even doing it well.
So he ends up telling his father the truth. Kaylee's bearing witness to all of this. Once he gets off this phone, that's still not enough for her. She's like, I'm still not over this. He is an evil man. He has been ripping people to shreds, tearing people down for years, and he's just gonna get away with it.
He's the worst.
And then she was like, this is impossible. She was like, what do we need to do? And then Jason was like, it would honestly take an army to take down this man. And he's like, we can't. And then, lo and behold, who walks in to save the day? Monty. And she says, look, you talking about an army? I know where we can find the troops. We can do this. And they're like, Kayla's like, what are you doing here? And she's like, look, I've worked for this man for a very long time. I've seen everything there is to know about him. He's awful and I'm tired of it. And I am with you. I stand with you. We can do this. We can take down Marty Wolf. She says tomorrow is the start date of shooting for Big Fat Liar. This is the biggest day of his career. He's one flop away from being over.
Yes.
All we have to do is ruin tomorrow and we ruin him.
We're done. He's done.
And so they've set a plan in motion.
Jason's back on board. Let's
do this. The way they corral this together, I have a lot of questions. But I'm just like, how did you get all these people overnight? They're taking notes. Anyway.
The amount of people who are so eager to rally behind a 14-year-old
boy. Because then at this point, like, okay, so at some point they gather an army, and Jason is running them the plan for tomorrow. How he even came up with the plan?
Creativity.
This elaborate in such a short amount of time? Who knows? There's at least 30 people in the room. So they're coming up with a plan. He's talking about, oh yeah, and then my parents are gonna get here. I'd be like, what are we doing? Your parents? I don't know you, kid. And he's like, oh yeah, and then y'all are gonna pick up my parents from the airport. Don't forget about that part of the plan. I'm like, I don't know what is this?
I snapped back into reality. I'm gonna go with guys.
What are we doing here? What are we doing?
I lost it. Sorry. The whole parents
he's
thing.
Running them the plan, the agenda for tomorrow, and he's like, y'all are all here because y'all have all been personally victimized by Marty Wolf.
By Gina George.
And they're setting the plan in motion.
Yes. And this is going to be phase 4, which is the payback. And it's the next morning and it begins. It begins with Frank going to pick up Marty from his home. He knocks on the door. He sees a Marty who is no longer blue.
Scrubbed it all off. His hair is the normal color.
Boo.
It's not blue anymore.
Meh.
And he sees Frank and he's like, hey, don't I know you? And he's like, yeah, Mr. Wolf, I was your driver. I drove you for like a year. And he was like, you remember I gave you my headshot, I'm an actor. And he was like, oh yeah, looks like the acting career is really taking off. And he's like, get to the car, Brando.
Yes.
I got somewhere to be.
And then Frank gives him another headshot, and then Marty takes it, and he balls it up, and he throws it.
Why would he give him...
Rude.
Why are you giving him this man your headshot?
Why can't you just give it back, unfold it? Jesus. So...
Oh, right. He's like, hey, I don't want it.
Yes.
Give it to someone else.
So the two are in the car. Frank is driving, and then he notices that like smoke is coming out of his car, and he's like, "Oh, hold on, Marty. We're having a problem. I'm gonna have to pull over." And then Marty's like, "What the hell's going on? I have a really big important day. What's going on?" Frank gets out. He pulls up the hood, reveals all this smoke. To us, we see that it's a prop.
Yeah, it's
from the movie set.
Like a set fog
yes,
machine.
But
there's nothing really wrong with the car, people.
Yeah, but Mr. Wolf thinks. Yeah, baby. Mr. Wolf thinks I'm fucked. I need to get to this thing, and
he's
then
like, my film starts shooting in an hour.
And then Frank starts freaking out. He's like, "Oh please,
He's
please,
like,
Mr. Wolf."
Leave me. He's like, no, you can't leave me. He's like, get off of me. He's like, what are you doing? Don't touch. And then he's literally like groping him. And then Jaleel White pulls up, and he's like, "Is everything okay?" And he's like, "Urkel." Girl. But when he pulls up, Frank is like, he has like his thigh. He's like holding him by the thigh. He's like thighs to his like groin. It's a very compromising position they're in. And then so Urkel pulls up and he's like, "Is everything okay here?" And he's like, "Urkel," and he's like,
mind you, he hates it when he calls him Urkel.
He hates it when he calls him Urkel. And then he's like, Jaleel, please, I need a ride. Can you give me a ride to set? I start filming in an hour. And he's like, yeah, sure.
Mr. Wolf, go and hop in.
And meanwhile, Frank is still hysterical. He's like, please don't leave me. You can't leave me. And then Urkel and Marty drive off. And then Frank ceases his fake tears. And he's like, the pigeon has left the king poop.
So they was having weird names.
The pigeon has left the cockpit. I don't know. The chicken coop. Yeah. Whatever. And phase 1 of phase 4 is now complete.
Yes.
And so now Jaleel and Marty are making their way down the highway. Jaleel is driving very fast. And he's like, whoa, Urkel, you're driving really fast here. And he's like, yeah, I know a shortcut. So they're driving. He ends up driving them through the desert. He's probably going like 100 miles per hour. And he's like, slow down. This is awesome. And then he's like, no, I'm not. And he's like, if you don't slow down, I'm going to get out the car. And he's like, okay, hop out. I don't care. And he's like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to hop out the ar. And he's like, no one's stopping you. Get out. And then he's like, fine. And so he hops out the car.
He's off of that.
Why did he feel so compelled to hop out the car?
Did they think he was going to hop out the car?
I was like, how did y'all ensure that he was going to hop out the car? That's a gamble.
Yeah, that's a very gamble.
That's a very
I didn't like
gamble.
That one. I didn't like that part. Because this part of the plan is
maybe the plan was just like, you somehow have to find a way to leave him in the desert.
Yeah. He just hopped out.
He was like, yeah, he just hopped out the car. He just chose to hop out the car.
I just left him there.
Yeah. So then he hops out the car, and Jaleel's phase is now complete. Yeah. He calls in. He's like, Urkel, here. Whatever.
Urkel out.
Urkel out.
He's the only person who can call himself
Call
Urkel.
himself Urkel. So now, this is when I would have started questioning things. This is now when I would have been like, okay, something.
That's how big of an asshole.
I was like, something is up. So now he's stranded in the desert, right? And he's walking. He looks dusty. He looks like he's
Dusty,
a little sunburned.
musty,
He's been out there for a while. And out of nowhere, first of all, the shot for the scene looks pretty like he's just like walking in the desert, and then like slowly a helicopter is like approaching him slowly, and he hears the helicopter.
Well, because he called Monty.
Oh, he called Monty. Oh,
he called Monty. He was like, "Find me a ride. I'm stuck in the middle of nowhere. I need you to get me a ride." And then she's like, "I'm on it."
So then a helicopter is slowly approaching him. And he slowly turns around, and the helicopter lands, and it's lo and behold our sweet little Vietnam veteran,
Vince.
Oh, that's his name. Who is head of stunts
Coordinator.
And so he comes out, and he's like, "The studio called. I heard you need a ride. I'm here to pick you up." And then he's like, "Okay, is this safe? Is this not a good idea? You know how to fly this thing?" And he was like, "Of course, Mr. Wolf. I was a vet in Vietnam." And then he tells him. He said, "Okay, Methuselah, I've had enough. Just get me to set."
Who the hell's Methuselah?
Who is Methuselah? He's like, "Okay, Methuselah." He's like, "I've already seen," like, he names like a war movie. Like, "I've already seen Saving Private Ryan."
Yeah,
set.
right.
Oh my god, that's funny. So they get in the helicopter.
Yes.
They're flying. Vince calls in. He's like, "I've got him." Heading to set.
Secured. And Frank is somewhere picking up Jason's parents from the airport.
Oh, yeah.
So there's that, too. It's a lot going on.
There's a lot going on.
A lot of moving parts.
They're flying, blah, 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 blah. Then, everything seems to be going good. Out of nowhere, we hear, like, the alarm bells going off. Something's wrong. He's like, "Oh, no." Vince is like, looks like this plane's going down. We gotta get out of here.
The emergency lights going off and on.
Yeah.
He decided that. Is that how quickly you have to decide when your plane's going down? He's like, well.
Yeah. It's like, looks like we got to abandon ship. And then Marty's like, "Wait, what? What are you talking about?
What does
right
that mean?"
now?" He's like, "What does this mean? What is this going on?" He's like, "I'm going to put on this parachute. I'm going to attach you to my chest. And we're getting out of here."
He goes, "We have to do a forced evacuation." I think he's like, what does that mean?
He's like, what's happening?
What is a forced evacuation
So he's like, "I mean, you can stay or leave, but like, I'm getting out of here.
I gotta go."
So he straps him to his chest, and then they jump out of the
Does he strap him to himself, or does he just hang on tight?
Something. Maybe that. And he was like, he's literally like, "Oh, Jesus, not this way. Not this way. Oh, God."
See, now that is something I'm like, maybe we're going too far. Because what if he would have dropped him?
My question is, and this is, no one thought about this, you just evacuated a helicopter. You're crashing the helicopter?
What? No, Jay, the guy came out the back.
Oh, someone came out the back?
You see? So they hop out of the helicopter. The whole time, they have a backup pilot who's been hiding in the back. He hops out from wherever the hell he's hiding, jumps to the front, turns off the little the little sign. He calls in. He's like, "They're on the way," or whatever the hell they said.
I never saw that.
The bird is
I was
flying.
like, they literally just
no.
I was like, what the hell?
No.
I was like, you can't just crash a helicopter.
No, you were looking down. There's a guy back there.
I missed that because I was like, we need to talk about this. I was like, this is a plot hole.
It's a major plot
hole because y'all just crashed a helicopter.
Right? Could you imagine? It's like you got back at Marty, but like you're all going to jail
because you just crashed a helicopter.
Yeah, you killed like 10 people in a plane crash.
But still,
you never know. It's still illegal.
Yeah. So they hop out.
Let me for a reason. If you crash a crane, yeah. I was just saying if you crash a plane for no reason. There was actually this guy on TikTok. He's like a stunt guy, and he was doing one of those. Oh, my plane's going down, and he hopped out, and he showed the plane crashing and him like floating, but he just set it up, and nothing wrong with his plane. He just crashed his plane for like views.
Oh wow!
And he went to like prison. I want to think like 2-3 years or something.
Damn.
Yeah, and he recorded himself. Why would you do that?
Oh,
it was like in the mountainous area. I'm like, oh my God, dude, why would you do that?
Well, it's just the mountains.
Huh?
So it's just the mountains.
I mean, had he not recorded himself, we probably wouldn't have known he did that dumb crap. But I think it was like an environmental. I'm sure he got one of those charges, like something, just fucking up the planet for no reason, dude. Yeah.
Anywho, they land. Marty looks awful. He was in the desert, so he's sunburnt. His hair is literally like fried and blown out.
In his eyes. I think I laughed the hardest when he walked out that plane. I was like, now that's fucking funny.
His eyes. He looked like he saw the devil. Like he's gone to hell and back. Like he looks deranged.
Ooh, no, that was the best shot of the whole thing. So ooh, I'm so glad they picked him for this movie.
And then Vince just looks like he's like done this
vibing, having a great time.
He's a stuntman, so he looks calm, cool, and collected. So they're walking in slow motion. Yes. Vince looks like James Bond, and Marty looks like the Roadrunner who's been run over 1,000 times.
And then on set, Duncan is with Monty, and she's like, and Duncan tells Monty, if he's not here in 60 seconds,
I'm
it's
pulling
done.
The plug on this movie.
We're done.
We're done here.
But Marty has arrived. He's on set. Well, he's on the lot. He just needs to get to the big fat liar set area. So he's like jogging there, and then while he's jogging, he hears someone calls Morty or Wolf.
He's like, "Hey Wolf." And he's
hey
like,
Wolf.
How's it hanging, Shepherd?
And he sees it's Jason. And not only is it Jason, Jason's holding his stuffed animal, this little monkey thing that he played with earlier in the movie.
So this is like one of his most prized possessions.
Yes, it's like Mr.
Like
Funny Bones.
Like you had a blankie that you had your entire life. This is like his favorite thing, his childhood
possession.
Teddy bear.
Yes, Mr. Funny Bones is his name.
I read that was an add to the script that wasn't originally in there.
Which part? The monkey part?
Like him having a monkey that wasn't in there.
Yeah, it was really only like one scene.
It really didn't serve a purpose.
Yeah, there's like one scene where he's in his bed in the morning. He's just like playing with his monkey because the monkey sleeps in bed with him. I liked it.
Maybe it was they added it for him to chase after him.
Yeah, no, it makes sense because I would be like, okay, kid, done. But he has his monkey. I need my monkey.
Okay, so that makes sense.
Yeah. So Jason runs off. Marty chases after him. Jason hops in a go-kart that Kaylee's driving. They take off. Marty finds his own go-kart and he's chasing after them. They're flying through all different kind of sets. And I really want to go on a set. It's so fun.
One scene, they look like they're in New York in like a Hallmark movie and it's snowing.
Yeah.
And then they open the door and then now it looks like they're in Morocco.
Yes.
And then they open another door and now they look like they're in Saudi Arabia.
I love it.
And it's just like every time they open a door, it's a different set.
Yeah, it was so fun. I want to go on a set and I want to do that. Someone make me do that. Okay, so they're running around. Marty's getting close. Every time he thinks he gets closer, something gets in his way. For example, one of the little nerd guys who's like Vince's new stunt coordinator assistant kicks off a flood and Marty gets swept in a flood, which is my favorite scene because how freaking cool is that?
Right.
Oh my god! I want to do that. I want to be Marty in that situation and get swept away by a flood.
Crashes him and he's just plummeled by gallons and gallons. And
it's so cool. I love that.
So Jason is still on the run, and I guess once he's done being drowned by the water,
he's back at it.
He's back after him,
and then back
Kaylee's with him too. They're both running from him.
Back on set, we also see that the VP of publicity, she did her job. She's got the camera crews, everyone arriving.
She's got the news station.
She told them, right.
She's got the news station. She's got the reporters. She's got the press. She's got everyone.
She told them that there's some big stunt that's going to happen later, so that's why they're there. And then also, Jason's parents just arrived, so it's a who's of who's.
We're almost there. We're almost to the big finale, the big reveal,
the big
moment. So then, Jason and Kaylee are running. He's running after them. Eventually, Kaylee breaks off. And then he's just running after Jason now. Jason goes upstairs to one of these mini sets with rooms, and he goes upstairs. And he still has the monkey. He turns to Wolf. He taunts him with the monkey, and he's like, "Oh, Marty, save me, save me, save me." And then so he runs up to the roof, and he's right on his tail. He's right on his tail. Marty's right on his tail. And Jason is making a run for it, but Marty grabs him by the legs and causes him to trip and fall, and he loses the monkey.
Then they fight over the monkey. This is like a slow scene when the monkey is like in the air, and they do one of those jump scenes for the monkey. Anywho, Jason lose control of the monkey. Marty now has the monkey. Booyah, I win.
And why did it's over? I've got my monkey.
Why did he think that was it?
I don't know.
Out of all this, he was like, finally get my monkey.
I got you. And then he's like, he gets the monkey and he's like, it's over, kid. Give it up, shepherd. And then
Marty is basically, he's like, I win everything. Just like I stole your script.
And
basically.
then he's like, oh, so you admit that you did steal Big Fat Liar from me.
Wait.
So
you think you're really pretty.
You think you're really pretty.
So you meant, you really think you're pretty.
I guess.
Yeah.
So he's like, oh, so you admitted that you did steal Big Fat Liar from me. And he's like, newsflash. That's old news, bro. He's like, we know that. Duh. I stole a Big Fat Liar from you. It's not big news. We already knew this. What are you talking about? So he's like saying it. And he's like, I stole a Big Fat Liar from Jason Shepard. And then come to find out, there's cameras hidden everywhere from every which angle. You got a camera over there with some crew members. You got a camera over there with some crew members. You got a camera up here with some crew members. They're all capturing this big reveal on camera, and they're waving directly at Marty.
And then I love it when the director comes up.
When the director just drops down from.
It's like, I told you, Marty, I needed 10 cameras.
So then, after he just revealed that he stole the story, then the director, played by John Cho, John Cho, he comes down and he's like, I told you, Marty. Oh, and then doves come out.
Randomly, not
and then
not
he's
necessary.
like, I told you, Marty, this scene can only be done with 12 cameras and some doves. And he's like, you've been busted. So I also read that they wanted him to have an Asian accent.
Ooh, thank God he did. Not necessary.
He did not.
Why would he have needed one?
He was supposed to make fun of his Asian accent or his Chinese accent.
We're going to do all that just for one joke.
Right. And he said he didn't really want to do it because he didn't want kids to think that it was funny to make fun of people with accents.
That's a good freaking point.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And I also read he's never done any movie where he had an accent.
Yeah, I know him from a lot of movies,
and he's never. I've never heard him.
In
any of them.
Yeah.
Amen.
Can you do an Asian accent? I'm doing my Asian accent.
Right. So then he makes his way to the edge of the building. He looks down and he sees that the camera crew, that the VP of publicity is brought. They're all there. Duncan's standing there. Vince is there. The little nerdy guy he made fun of is there. Monty's there. Literally every person he's ever wronged. Can I point out
that the VP of publicity was like, I got you what you wanted.
And then she's eating a Twinkie.
She eats a fucking Twinkie.
She served him, baby. She's
Eat
like,
that.
I got you exactly what you wanted. And I'm eating my Twinkie.
Love that. I don't think I ever paid attention to that before.
Yeah,
that little detail.
I don't remember him calling her
a Twinkie either. I don't know if that was on the version that we saw as children because there's no way. So yes. So Marty sees that everyone's there. Duncan fires Morty. You stole this script from a 10-year-old kid. Well, actually, he's 14.
He's 14?
He's 14. And he's fired. So Marty, of course, is pissed. He turns to Jason. Jason says,
Wolf, I want to say thanks. You taught me a valuable lesson. The truth is not overrated.
And then Marty goes to, kill this child, as you would.
Because he's just destroyed his life.
Yes. And then Jason takes off, hops off the roof, and falls down to
to a mat. Very Hollywood.
Yes.
What are they called?
Stunt.
Devil style.
Yeah. He was off of that. I'd have been like, okay.
I know his mama was like, nah, y'all going too far.
Yes, going too
Why
far.
Is you jumping off a building?
Whose idea was this? It's out of. If I was the CEO, I'm like, was he part of the insurance plan? Or
right.
Did y'all make him sign something?
Right.
Y'all having a little too fun. Too much fun over here.
Too much fun over here.
Yes.
So he literally jumps off a building and lands onto this cushiony mat. And he is met with crowd in applause.
Yeah. Woo.
Everyone's like, woo, woo, woo. He goes up to his parents, and they were like, you did all of this just to prove that you wrote that story? And then he's like, I wanted you to believe me. He's like, I do, buddy. I do.
Mm-hmm. Fuck your mom.
He's a big hero.
The mom doesn't care.
The mom hugs him.
I know. I just don't understand why I didn't give her more.
He could have just had a daddy. They could have just killed the mom.
That's what I'm saying. Might as well just killed her off.
She had that one line. What are our options? When she asked about summer school. So then, Jason is a big hero.
Yeah,
He's a huge hero. And then Marty is like, hey, I'm up here. All right, this was fun. We got a movie to shoot.
Dude, you just got fired.
Like, you're fired. He's like, no, there is no movie to shoot. You've been terminated. And then everyone walks away, and they turn their back on him. As they should.
Cut to, what, like 6 months later?
Yeah.
And in this realm, girl, in this realm, movies just turn out like
they
nothing.
just turn out like hotcakes.
Right. But we're at the movie premiere of Big Fat Liar. In attendance is Frank, who's starring in the movie.
Starring in it. We get a snippet of the end of the movie, which every time I see that little snippet, I'm like, I wonder what this story really would have been like. Like, I really want to see it.
It's giving like a Fat Albert. Not Fat Albert. Like Nutty Professor.
Yeah.
Where it's just like he's going evil and it's just like, take this, become normal.
Or like
Honey,
it's giving like Baby Genius or Honey,
I Shrunk the Kids, but with a baby.
Yeah. I want this story
exactly was
fulfilled. But anywho, so we see Frank at the ending of the movie. He's a big giant, and then he slowly turns into a regular size.
You know what I love too? I was like, oh my god, they casted a black
girl.
Just like a black lead.
Guy.
Yeah, I was just like,
he had a black girlfriend. I was like, this is a black movie, and it's a blockbuster.
Right. I was like, only snippets in Hollywood.
Yes. So then he transforms into his regular sized human body. He goes up to his girlfriend and she's like, after he's destroyed everything as a giant, there's fire everywhere, there's cars destroyed, people are out in chaos, and she's like, wow, you really know how to make an entrance. And he's like, well, I do have big feet. And then he's like, Penny, you did teach me something. Telling the truth isn't overrated.
That's what he said.
And then they kiss. And that's the end of the movie. Now we see everyone in the audience who's at the movie premiere. Frank is there because obviously he starred in the movie.
Yeah, he's really excited.
We see Monty is there. We see Duncan's there. We see the bully, Burt, whatever his name is, there with Kaylee's Nana.
And they're besties.
Sitting next to each other. Jason's parents are in attendance. Of course, Kaylee's there sitting right next to her man, Jason. Jason's there. And probably some other people.
The teacher's there.
Oh, Sandra.
Monty wrote the screenplay.
And
directed and...
We get the ending credits.
It was directed and
written by, screenplay by,
written by and produced by Monty. Story by Jason.
And then
his teacher was there. She's like, oh, that's one thing. They're funny for inviting her.
Based on the story by Jason Shepard.
Yes, thank you. That's the one thing they got right. Because I don't think I knew what a story by was.
Yeah.
Because I'd be like, he wrote it. I'd be like, no, story by.
Story by.
Love that.
And
that's it. Oh, that's it for the happy ending.
We get our happy ending. And now for our funny ending. Yeah. I read that this ending originally wasn't in there and they added it. They did like a, excuse me, they did like a testing of the movie.
Uh-huh.
And they
were
like, it went okay. It wasn't great. And they're like, we have to change the ending. And so they added that. This ending that we're about to tell. So now we see Marty to make ends meet. He is now, for a job, is now a party clown.
I know I don't like Marty, but this hurts me.
Yeah, that's damn a party clown. He's probably maybe a year away from putting a shotgun in his mouth and ending it all.
Yeah.
He's not far from it.
He couldn't go to finance or something, an accountant, or like he needs to be an office job.
He could have worked at like a grocery store.
I know. Why a clown?
He could have been a limo.
I don't like thinking about it, honestly. It just makes me uncomfortable.
I don't feel that bad about it now.
I don't know. It makes me uncomfortable. I'm like, oh no.
So now he's living his life as a party clown. He arrives at the party. He hates his life, and he's like, here we go. As he's standing at the door. Then he enters the party and he's like, hey guys, it's me, Marty the party clown.
Oh, I don't like it.
He has no energy. He hates it. He hates his life. And then lo and behold, the little boy whose party it's for, he looks very familiar. Just bite-sized. But it looks like we've seen him before.
Bite-sized.
He's got like this hair that looks familiar. This outfit that looks familiar. And he's a little thick.
Very particular outfit.
Very particular.
Specific.
Kid.
Yeah.
So then
genre.
The dad comes out.
Oh.
Lo and behold, it's the dad who Marty originally got in that car accident.
What a small world.
Was driving the monster truck. This is his kid's party.
You know, I always say LA's so small.
They all say that. And then the dad comes out and he's like, oh my God. And then I'm sure they all attack him.
Yeah, I think he tells them to He tells his son, show him the nutcracker, and then, the kid punches him or kicks him in the nut.
And then, this is the life that Marty Wolf is now living. And that is the ending to the movie.
A Big Fat Liar.
Fantastic film, 5 stars.
Still holds up today in today's world.
So funny. I really wish it was like on something because I would honestly watch it again.
Right.
When you buy it, let me know because I will be watching it again.
Yeah. It's only $3 everyone, so really need to make it work. You could probably watch it illegally pretty easily. It's an oldie. That's probably
really
what I'll do.
Be on something. I don't know. Why is it not on Paramount Plus? The freaking owner of Paramount Plus wrote the movie, and it's not on Paramount Plus. Do I need to
hear
send him
us?
an email?
Brad, what's his name?
Brian Rogers.
You hear us, Brian Rogers? Put your freaking movie. Get your little creepy friend, Dan. Dan Snyder's a weirdo, right? I'm not making that up. I'm not confusing him with another white man.
Who's making what up?
Dan Snyder's a weirdo, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Get your little weird friend and get it together.
And put it on freaking Paramount.
Yeah. Shout out to Amanda Bynes. She did the damn thing in this movie.
Oh my goodness, I did not say this, and I meant to say this. Oh fuck, I spilled this goddamn joke.
Grow up. Yeah. Stop messing up your room. It's disgusting.
I need new carpet anyway. But not gonna smell like alcohol in here. But what I meant to say is, I be saying this is the house that Lindsay built. But we were spending the weekends with Amanda Bynes.
Yes.
Lindsay Lohan might have built this house, but we was over by Amanda Bynes.
Why are the grades doing so bad?
I don't know.
Pray for them.
You can't have it all.
I'll pray for Amanda Bynes.
Really.
Lindsay Lohan.
She's coming back. She's doing good.
Pray for Amanda Bynes because Amanda Bynes did
she's
a left
not
turn.
good.
Don't know what's going on. Why she talk like
She's
that
trying
now?
to be a nail tech.
Which I don't mind her being a nail tech. Have you seen her lately?
Yes.
I don't know why she talk like
She
that.
has a podcast, and I saw like a clip of her just like doing the podcast. It was the most awkward thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, and I don't think she could do it anymore.
She was literally asking questions. She was like, "What are your hopes and dreams?
But it's
what
weirder.
are your career goals? What would you say is the thing that gets you up in the morning? What is the funniest thing that you've ever seen?" It was just like, what are these questions? Like, why are you asking them like that? It was so awkward. I was like, oh my god, stop.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
No, none of us do.
At
At some point, someone failed her, and they need to rectify their wrongs.
No,
Does Hollywood need to do it? Does the world need to do it? Because I will do it for Amanda.
I guess when you really think about this, she was acting since she was a child.
I mean, yeah.
Teeny tiny. She never stopped until recently. It's a lot.
Whatever. I hope she comes back.
Sending her love, patience. You rock.
Don't forget to like, rate, subscribe, and review.
Tell your friends.
Tell your friends.
Tell your friends.
This has been fun. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, guys. Enjoy your New Year. Stay healthy.
Keep up with those New Year's resolutions. Bye.
Bye.